Riku! Axel! Vincent! Sir Venom!
I don't have a beef stew, but I will give you a strong start. With your Nautiloid Spelljammer placed into dry dock at the cost of 10 gold pieces per day, you find yourselves back on what other spelljamming crews refer to as windy ground. The rock seems familiar to how you left it, though you do quickly notice there are no elves of Zaraxis seen between the docks and Aurora's realms. It does feel good, however, to have your feet on solid gravity, as traveling back from Earth space, your recent expedition below the barrier peaks. It was there that you found your friend, mentor, and grandfather, Rudolf van Richten, stuck in stasis and wearing the spell-jamming helm you were sent to retrieve. It was a harrowing bit of action at the bottom of the vessel you were spelunking. Agents of the Whispered One attacking, a sliver of Axel's mind in the form of Artemis and Triri in league with them. You walk away from another fight with more questions than answers, and not for the first time. But the Rock of Brawl invites you back, with your cargo in tow in the form of a hovering cargo sled. You have successfully disguised the precious cargo containing Rudolf van Richten as a set of crates with tarpaulins upon them, and you are ready to bring it to Aurora's realms from the docks if you so wish. Is there something you would like to do, Roosters, or would you like to bring your cargo and receive your coin?
Could I have like during the trip back, could I have asked the captain and not Chewbacca more about that, like, I don't know, that band of elves, like the princess lady?
Yeah,
But I meant to
absolutely.
see if they know anything about like their, like royal political structure or like what they're looking for, just so I don't make as much of a fool of myself the next time I meet her.
Absolutely. Go ahead and make a. I don't know. Go ahead
Who's
and make
interested
a.
in this as well? Because we haven't really met too many princesses.
Go ahead and make persuasion check.
Big old 7.
They kind of look at you and they're like, oh, I don't know. They sort of showed up, I don't know, maybe 10 days ago. Began to refuel some of their vessels, resupply. I don't know. It said they were from Zaraxis space. I've never heard of it. I've never been there. My understanding is that it's, very far away on the other side of, well, not just Earth space, but as well as, gosh, what do they call that? Aberronian space, I believe it's called, and a few more locations. So it's really out there. I think it takes something like 5 to 10 days to get to, but it's unclear to me.
Oh wow. Do you know the like the name of their home planet? Or like the
I think
name of
it's
their leader?
Zaraxis.
Zaraxis?
Indeed. I don't know anything about the Zaraxi other than that. I think I heard there's a prince and a princess.
Okay.
And this is Jane Lake who's giving you these things. Hugh Baca sort of just like shrugs with his big hippo shoulders.
Okay. Well, that's that's a good start for me. Muchos gracias. Um, and then so I have the Thraxis is the name of the home planet, or Zaraxis.
Zaraxis, and I can give you a spelling of that. Hold on, just a moment.
And then I know the name of the princess. So I'd cast Legend Lore to find out more about the princess.
Okay. Give me a moment here while I pull it up. And Legend Lore, you don't need to roll for it at all, right?
Right. It's name or describe a person, place, or object. Spell brings to your mind a brief summary of the significant lore about the thing that I named.
And are you naming the princess, or are you naming the Zaraxis people and their home?
I'm gonna start with the princess because she's my point of contact.
Gotcha.
Plus, it says the more information you already have about the thing, the more precise and detailed the information I receive is. And I've actually met the princess, whereas I just heard about this home planet that apparently no longer exists, like right now.
So you don't know about if their home planet doesn't exist. Did I say that?
I think Princess Zidali,
Yep.
she said that she wanted me to put that sensor down for her because they were scouting for a new home planet.
Okay.
So I think maybe I just inferred that it was like destroyed or no longer accessible.
Gotcha. Princess Zidali is heir to the Zeraxian Empire, and she's currently on a mission to find a new home planet for her people. She's a relatively rational, compromising individual, especially juxtaposed to her twin, but she can tend to be a scornful manipulator at times.
Do I get a sense of like what type of guy she's into?
Let me check legend lore.
Like how big? Like does she like a guy with big horns? Because I've rolled for that before, and Sir Venom's got some big horns.
I like where this is
Hold
going.
on.
Sir Venom wants to be a prince.
Yeah. Well,
Prince of an
also,
alien world.
also, if they have this, I mean, assuming they can, it's like there's just this big rock. Couldn't they just park this thing off the coast of like the Sword Coast and just be another
They
city
could.
and add them to the
Well, Rico has a title now. If anyone's gonna date a princess.
Yeah, that's why like Sir Venom's super jealous. Riku's got a title. I want a title. The Sir in my name is like I put that there myself. That's not a real title.
You don't know anything in regards to her romantic interests. You do learn that their world is being destroyed. It's not destroyed yet, but it's in the process of being destroyed within Zeraxi space. And that it pains her greatly to see her home in this way. And so she is on some sort of quest, some sort of adventure of her own at this time. And make an insight check on top of it.
26.
You get a sense that there's far more to that seed that you planted back on Oearth than she was letting on. Based on images that sort of flash across your mind of what Zeraxis looks like, of what her adventures have looked like as legend lore sort of passes through your mind.
I had a feeling that there was more to that sensor than just a sensor. But I mean, if we're gonna raise a planet, it might as well be the planet we infected with evil mushrooms.
Anything else you're doing?
I would have changed into my Thoraxis armor to walk around brawling.
Okay. Anyone else? Anything you guys would like to do before you usher your cargo to Aurora's realms, or is there something else you would like to do instead of that as you land?
No,
Is this what it looks like? Obviously, and we could see this like when we came in, flying in.
Yes, that is exactly what it looks like, and you landed at the docks on the southeastern edge there. And actually, let me swap back over. I will bring you the actual map of the Rock Brawl. And you guys are see. You can see your ship has docked here now. So you do have your Nautiloid ship. You are currently here, but you're good to go to Aurora's realms. which is all the way over here.
All right, well, I guess let's head there. And is there any on the route? Was there any similar any vibes that gave us like the similar to our spot?
Like shenanigans?
Yeah, like along the
Along
way.
that
Do they have their
route,
own version of shenanigans along the way?
that's a good question, actually. Um, I think the general answer is no. You've already visited, like, quote unquote, their version of shenanigans. It was the place on the edge down in the southern section. Um, oh gosh, what was that called again? Yeah, the Edge in particular. It's this
Oh, yeah.
tavern that sort of sits over the edge of the rock. Um, in regards to what you see along your route, you see a cobblery, so a place where they build, make shoes. You see nautical charts of Brawl. In particular, it's a big round observatory that's number 126 here. I've got the cursor over it, and that's next to the Drunken Octopus, which is literally like an octopus sign with a tankard in each arm. You pass the Fallen Star, which, let me just pull that up. Oh, I don't see that on this list, so I cannot tell you what that is at the moment. The Royal Exchequer, which is sort of like where they take the taxes in. As you go around, you actually skip through a relatively residential area and finally make your way over through a square, and you reach Aurora's Realms.
We did it, boys.
Hey, casual. I see a
Nice.
place called the Griffin Company.
Really? I was looking for maybe a saddlesmith I could employ, but I don't want it to be take too long here if we're not going to be sticking around here. I don't know. Maybe we get back to the Sword Coast for that.
Yeah, I think
Gotcha.
I think this place disappears from like the orbit after a while, right? Some.
Unless Sir Venom convinces them not to
Oh. Uh.
visit the Sword Coast.
Convinces who not to what?
Wasn't Sir Venom saying he wanted to get this thing to come to the Sword Coast?
I want
Or did I
to become prince of that other planet
Oh,
with the princess.
right.
Like me, Prince Sir Venom.
Okay, as you begin to open the door into Aurora's Realms, it is locked.
Oh.
And you sort of look around and you realize it's probably later in the evening at this point. You've probably arrived around, I'll say, like 7:30 at night. And you can tell that folks are closing up shops and retiring for the evening. You do still have this hovering sled with your cargo, and as you look around, you do see someone come to the door from the inside of Aurora's Realms. It is one of the elven patrons who you have regularly conversed with, and as she opens the door, she goes, Roosters, right?
It's
Do
us.
you have the goods?
We do.
Oh, indeed, indeed. I have been informed to tell you to bring them directly to the owner's home. So if you would follow me, I'm going to lead you to the owner's residence.
By all means.
Can we have telepathically linked before we left the ship?
Sure, I will allow that. It's taken you about 15 minutes to get here. It'll take you another like 5 minutes to get back, but you will traverse. Oops.
Well, actually, before we leave Aurora's Realms to go to this owner's place, I'd want to like telepathically tell the boys like should we like ask the guys here to help with Rictavio first before we go to this rich guy's place?
Nah,
we
we'll
can
just
get,
wait
like,
till we get
Rictavio
there.
out of here?
Yeah. So I think, I mean, if they don't like take them off of it and say thanks, or if Rictavio's like included in the purchase, we might just have to like take their money and let them like think we, you know, or and then
Then come
like
back for a
then come
rescue
back
mission?
for him. Yeah, then come
Yeah,
back
that's
for
Well,
him.
Yeah,
the whole
but-
thing is
Double cross
with
him.
Aurora's realm, we can always decide to keep the goods, so
Yeah. Plus,
they don't care.
this goes. Oh, I have a whole another business plan where we maybe put these Aurora Realms people out of business. But yeah. So I don't. I've been scheming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So fuck them.
All right.
Uh,
Well,
they-
let's just, see how this goes.
They lead you back through the streets, past the Royal Exchequers, the Fallen Star, almost all the way back to the Drunken Octopus, and they lead you actually to the Nautical Charts of Brawl, this round observatory of a building, and they open the door for you. And I will put you in here on the first floor, which is going to be the top one. As you enter, you can see that it is relatively nice home, observatory, and shop all in one. It is, I want to say that it's a little less well kept than you expected, but it's homey, and it appears to hold what you can almost assuredly tell are probably the trappings of somebody interested in magic. As you look around and you have your cart behind you, the individual from Aurora's Realms goes, "Don't worry, Elmander will be with you shortly."
Okay.
All right. We'll just wait here.
You guys do anything while you're waiting for Elmander?
I just had to ask
Poke my
to
head.
rejoin Owl there. Here I am.
Anything in here?
You poke your head in. That room in particular contains what appears to be actually kitchen supplies. It seems to be that this is more living quarters than anything else.
Thing to see
Are
here?
we looking for stuff to steal?
No, I'm just trying to figure out what the hell this place is.
Which room
Yeah.
in particular, Vincent? This one? Yeah, as you open this door, this is actually very clearly some sort of alchemical workshop. You can see substances on a boil on the table. You can see different crates full of supplies and instruments. You can see quite a bit in here as you look
And so we'll
around.
just go. Yeah, we'll just go like and just stare at it.
Okay.
Trying
Hey,
to figure it out.
Vincent, you find anything good?
Look at this place. We got beakers and Bunsen burners galore. And because Vincent is a poisoner, I got the poisoner feat. Does he see anything? Might be able to brew it because I'm proficient in making poison. Can I?
There you
Anything
are.
nefarious?
Anything look poisonous here,
Um,
or is it more like magical stuff
Do a taste test.
that he's not familiar with?
go ahead and make a investigation check. And tell me what you rolled. Let's see. 14.
Yep.
Let's see. I'm gonna say you don't notice anything like immediately poisonous, but you do hear an individual coming down the stairs, Axel, and then walking through this door, and they see Sir Venom standing on the other side of the room, on the inside of his like alchemical chambers. "Excuse me, what are you doing in my home? Do know that I will banish you if I need be."
It's all right. It's all right.
Ooh, I jump back out. I'm like, sorry, the door was open, and
We went. I think they went looking for you. Sorry.
we were invited here.
Yeah, we weren't even offered beverages when we came in.
Make a persuasion check at disadvantage. But you can see that he's like reaching for a wand, and he's like, "What the hell?"
And
Mir,
Vincent's
actually-
gonna
Yeah, who's rolling it?
Vincent's gonna try to sneak out and stand behind Sir Venom without the guy noticing.
Roll stealth
And
at
I,
disadvantage, Vincent.
I see Vincent doing this, and I spread my wings a little bit to give him more space to
Aw.
hide.
Which one of us is rolling the
Uh,
persuasion?
Guess it
13.
would be a
Yeah.
13, yeah.
Let's see if he sees you walking out. Yeah, he totally sees you walking out of the room. Um,
Does it slyly and just kind of stands there, like, and leans against the wall, like he's been there the whole time.
Starts
Oh.
whistling.
are you thieves? What is happening here? You do know who I am, don't you?
I'd minor illusion up a version of the like the helm that Rictavia was in that we were sent, and we were like, no, we were commissioned by Aurora's Realms to find this thing. They said it was a request made by you.
And he sort of looks at it momentarily. Now, who wants to make that persuasion check at disadvantage? The first one.
Can we pick
I mean,
Riku?
yeah,
That's
You
fine.
guys were the ones talking.
Yeah,
but
we
I'll do
were.
it.
yeah. I feel like it should be either me or Axel, just
All right.
non cheesy. But I don't know. What do you got? I got a +1.
I mean, we only got an 18. I mean, maybe this guy's like,
He sort of looks at you. He goes, "That doesn't give you the right to walk around in people's homes." And you can see that he's like heavily disgruntled. And he's like, "Ugh, fucking
Apologies for
adventurers."
my friends. They have no manners, Riku says, and then gives like a courteous bow.
You can see that on some level you've gotten off on the wrong foot, but he like turns on his heel and he waves you forward. And he's like, "Follow me upstairs. Bring whatever you have up here." And he like disappears
Come on, Sir
into the
Venom.
upstairs.
You're gonna get us in trouble.
Hey, what do you mean me? I was following your lead.
how are we getting these contraptions up the stairs? This is like,
Oh,
Hovers, it hovers.
Doesn't it
It actually
float?
does hover up the steps a little awkwardly, but you're able to do it. Are you trying to keep the tarp on it, or do you let the tarp fall off?
Let's keep the tarp on for now.
Okay.
Whoa, what is this? And Vincent would like walk over and just stare at it.
Start
Make a
touching
history
everything.
check, Vincent. Make a history check because you've seen this thing before.
One.
You don't recognize it. Your memory fails you. For the rest of you, if you are
This isn't
proficient
amazing.
in Arcana, which I think Riku and Sir Venom both are, you both
Halfway.
immediately recognize it. Okay, that's good enough. You do recognize it. It is a model of the planes, and I will drop one down here for you, and the multiverse specifically. So it is a sort of model that looks like this, but it's made with spinning orbs and different levels of things. You see that the globe on the inside, the big globe on the inside, is effectively the material plane, but you can see portions of the Feywild floating above it. It's magical in nature. There's physical pieces to it, but there's also like illusory pieces to it, potentially actual elemental pieces of it that represent, the fire, the earth, the wind, the water of the elemental planes. It's a pretty spectacular looking image, from what you can tell.
Riku points. This thing is neat.
Oh, yes, thank you. You like my model of the planes? Yeah, it's fancy. It's fancy. I just gave up. I just lost my calculations. I can't find for the life of me the Dark Sun space anymore. It's just missing.
Wait,
me either.
Say that one more time.
Are you a learned individual, sir? What is your name, sir?
Sir Venom.
Sir Venom. Interesting surname. No, this is well, this is my sightseer, and he sort of like points, and you can see that it's like very clearly on this like open balcony, shooting out to the stars. I've been tracking the movements of realm space, and I don't know, it doesn't make any sense. I can't find Dark Sun space anymore.
Oh, what does Dark Sun sound like to us, boys?
Darkon?
Dark one.
Yeah, does the name Darkon mean anything to you?
He sort of looks at you, and he's like, I don't think so. That doesn't ring a bell to me. Darkon? No, Dark Sun. It's a Well, it's a really sad, awful place, actually.
That sounds a lot like Darkon.
Maybe they are the same. Tell me more about this Darkon. What do you know about this place?
Not much.
Somewhere the Shadowfell.
Yeah, we know that basically it was absorbed into like a pocket dimension, a pocket realm, if you would.
He leads you over, and I'm just gonna put this out just so you can see it at the same time. He leads you over to the model, and he steps forward, and you can actually see that there's a bunch of like levers and nozzles and like things for him to literally like blow into, and dials and switches and things, and he begins to press them and play them, and he actually like uses one of the nozzles and plays like a little like musical tune. And as it does so, you can see that it zooms in on the Shadowfell and it changes the model slightly. So I'm just going to put this one to the side and bring this one out. Oh, nope, that's the Astral Sea. Wrong one, wrong one. He puts that one aside. Let's use this one. And it gets bigger, and like he zooms in on effectively the Shadowfell and the bifurcation of the Shadowfell and the material plane and the Feywild. And he goes, "You're saying Darkon is a pocket dimension in this space here?" And he sort of points up to where the Shadowfell is.
That's
It's
right.
more like a neighbor to the Shadowfell. It's a little like a bubble connected to the big bubble that is the Shadowfell.
You can see him like pondering this.
I'm like,
The
remember
world.
remember when you were a little
There's-
kid, you'd blow bubbles, and sometimes the bubbles would get like a little bubble would get stuck to a big bubble and just like sit on the outside of it. And minor illusion up an image of like a soap bubble with a smaller soap bubble like attached to the outside.
Whoa.
Darkon is
He-
kind of like the smaller soap bubble.
He like runs over to this desk here and he grabs like a notebook and a quill, and he just begins like writing as he walks back. That makes so much sense. That's so, oh my goodness. Who are you lot? I'm so sorry. My name's Elmander. What are your names?
We're the Roosters. Faerun.
Yeah, Riku,
Roosters.
let's because I think a while back me and Riku were coordinating our minor illusions. So definitely part of that would have been for like an epic intro for the group. Like we strike a pose and we do like 2 minor illusions of like, like an explosion of fireworks and like doves flying out behind us.
Before Riku starts talking to this guy, I wanted to say in my mind to Riku that I think the price just went up.
Does it look like this? Your pose? The old wanted poster.
How about that?
You
I'm thinking
strike the
more like
pose.
the Ginyu Force pose.
Okay.
That's
He
the
sort
one.
of looks at you all and he goes, "Oh, I see that my employees have clearly found a capable troop of individuals, and an odd one at that. But I don't know. I guess that's pretty typical. So you were sent to Earth space to recover a specialized spell jamming helm, correct?"
That's right.
He
Funny,
sort of
funny
looks.
Yeah.
enough, it actually has my grandfather inside of it.
He like looks over at the floating sled.
You're
What the
hoping
world?
maybe you could
Arp
help
reveal.
us with there.
Do you show it to him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, epically pull the tarp off in like slow motion as it reveals like the cryogenically frozen face of Rictavio Van Richten.
Here, we'll put this over here.
That's my
He
grandpa.
he looks at it. He looks at you. But you're from Favorun, you just said, right?
Yep. He's not.
What in the nine hells
He's
was he
from-
doing on Earth?
He was he's from that Darkon place we mentioned, and we're not really sure. That's why we're hoping maybe you could wake him up without killing him.
He glances at the model of the planes over his shoulder, back towards the Shadowfell. He looks at your grandfather. He looks at the lot of you, and then he looks at the screen that has effectively your grandfather's heartbeat on it and metrics on it. Where's the spell jamming helm?
This is it.
He's wearing it. It's a vest. A vest.
And he looks at it. He like looks into the glass. Oh, this is not what I was expecting at all. Um,
Pretty
um,
sophisticated, eh?
yeah, I don't understand any of this. Do you know how to get him out of here? How to get the vest off?
We tried, but it seemed like something bad was happening, so we stopped, and we're hoping maybe you could help us.
Hmm. He is going to inspect it. Let's see.
Does it have like is it have like all the instructions that Sir Venom can read, or is it just kind of on its own thing?
It's currently on its own set of metrics and numbers, basically just showing his like vitals and stuff. But as he looks at it, he goes, "Oh, I think I'll need some time with this to understand how it works. Would it be okay if we spent some time? You're welcome to stay. In fact, I don't know if my employees told you. There's plenty of beds downstairs. Sometimes one of the other adventuring groups one of the really strong adventuring groups I have hired, they will stay here at times. You're welcome to stay here for free if I can study this, and maybe we can get your grandfather out of here." And he looks to you, Riku.
Of course. And I'd be happy to help if you need a hand. And I'm sure he'd help too, points to Sir Venom.
Yeah, so Venom was gonna say, yeah, I definitely I understand like the words on this thing. I couldn't figure out how the machinery itself worked.
Gotcha. He's sort of like looking at the lot of you, and as Vincent, you're like walking around, he goes, "Hey, hands where I can see him from you." He points over at you.
Oh, he's
I
fine.
just
He
want
just
to
likes he
I
just
want
likes
to check
shiny
out this.
things.
I want to
What
check out your cool thing, and
Riku?
then I would ask Sir Venom where the Raven Queen's court is on the thingy.
Oh.
Oh yeah, can I am I able to tell that if it's still on the Shadowfell setting?
It is on the Shadowfell setting. You sort of look at it, and it's make an insight check.
Ooh, 19.
Uh, it's like really tough to make out, especially because you don't think a material plane has been set in the center of this model. You think that that is a flexible input. It's like a variable input, and so if you were to set the material plane, because each Shadowfell is a reflection of their own material plane, you might be able to better understand where the court should be.
Oh, so it would have to be set to like Faerun in particular.
Exactly. At
Okay,
least
so
for you to be able to point it out to Vincent.
I turned to our what's our new friend's name?
Elmander.
Elmander. I turned to Elmander. I'd be like, do you mind if I set your device to Faerun?
Oh, no, not at all. Just whistle 3 times into that doohickey and twist that knob. And he like is still looking at your grandfather.
And so I find a doohickey, and I whistle 3 times into it, and then I find a knob and I twist that.
Okay. As it does this, it simultaneously sets the material plane to Faerun, and you see that same map of like the Sword Coast, but like there's all this other land around as well because it's a globe. And as you do that, you also get an image of what you recognize as the Shadowfell. It is this sort of like warped and odd looking version of the Sword Coast. But it looks relatively similar, and you're able to point out where you believe the palace lies within the city of Gloomrot.
It's in Gloomrot in the Shadowfell of Faerun.
Yes.
And I would point that out to Vincent.
Okay.
Wow.
The one thing you do notice about Gloomrot is that it continues to have the bowl shape that you recognize, Sir Venom. It sits sort of within the center of what is basically a large, almost like a valley on 360 degrees of every side to it, where the water drains in, and there should be a lake, you would expect. There would be some sort of body of water in this location normally, based on the topography, but it's very clearly just a city. But as you point that out, you see it sort of for the first time, Vincent. Elmander at this point is beginning to press buttons. All right, who wants to give me a hand with this? If you're going to give him a hand with him, go ahead and give an investigation check. So I think that's Riku and Sir Venom. Axel, Vincent, are you guys doing anything?
I'm just
Um,
admiring the thing.
I would say in my brain, Tariku, when are we getting paid? When's this guy like? It's like
Once
a
we
lot of money.
make sure Octavia's good, don't worry about the money. We're rich, man.
Hey, that's our money, man.
Don't worry, we'll be
Yo,
fine.
where's
this guy's loaded
Aurora's
clearly.
realm?
This guy could
Who's
just
the
like
person
conjure money
from
if he
Aurora's
wants.
realm? Are they still here? They just
No, they
dropped us off.
left you at the door.
Okay.
As you're watching him work, he sort of goes, "Hold up," and he sees you doing something, Riku, and he like grabs your hand and he goes, "I think I know what to do," and he goes to begin casting a spell. Do you guys stop him or anything, or do you leave him as is?
Oh, we're watching.
Yeah.
Okay. He casts the sleep spell, but then he inverts it mid-spell. And Riku, you recognize it, I believe. You and Sir Venom will both recognize the sleep spell being cast. But as he's about to cast it on your grandfather, he hovers it over your grandfather's forehead and pulls his hand back, and you can see some sort of essence being withdrawn from Rudolf van Richten. And he then nullifies the spell in his hand and sort of crushes it. The arcane magic sort of settles for a moment. He goes, "I think we could just take this thing off of him." And as he reaches in to begin to go take the vest off of him, Rudolf van Richten wakes up and sits up.
Rudy! Vincent jumps off the platform that he's on.
Grandpa, you're alive. Riku hugs.
He looks shell-shocked to see you, and he goes, "What the?" And he looks around. What is this thing I'm in? How did I get here? It looks like it worked. It worked. I can't believe it worked.
We were hoping you could tell us.
Yeah,
Well-
we found you in a weird ass ship for
Spaceship.
space or something.
He looks at you all like you're crazy, and then he looks over Elmander and Axel's shoulders to the open window there with the telescope on it and everything, and he can see the stars beyond. He goes, "Lads, where are we?"
The Rock of Brawl. It's a giant rock that floats above Faerun in the astral sea. Riku does like a cool pose.
He sort
like
of
kind of
looks at you.
spinning in a circle.
What? What? No, Rock of Brawl. I don't think I've ever heard of that. But what are you doing here? Where did you find me? And you can just
this thing's worth 100,000. Riku kicks the machine. He's like, and you were inside it.
so you weren't even looking for me. You just happened upon me.
No, we were looking for you, just not specifically when we found you.
No. Riku gave up on you right away.
Riku, roll a deception check.
I didn't give up on him. It's just we were busy.
Sure, can we look for Octavio? And Riku was like, "No, fuck that old man."
He sort of looks at you and he's kind of like, all right, fair enough. Well, and he begins to climb out of it, and all the sensors begin to go haywire, and he's like, "Oh, I think I should take all this off." And he
Please
begins
do.
stripping the vest off and everything, and then all the sensors flatline as he does so. Everybody, give me what's your passive? No, go ahead and give me an insight check.
Nat 20.
Damn. Riku insightful as fuck.
Okay. Uh, I'm gonna say Riku, Axel, Sir Venom. You all notice as he gets up out of this chamber and takes this vest off, it slightly dislodges something in his breast pocket, and you see a bit of a scroll poking up and out of his breast pocket. He quickly puts his hand into his like into his coat and shirt and like tucks it back in, whatever the scroll was. Um, he also now has a new bag, some sort of satchel around his waist that you had not yet noticed when he was in this container, and it is very clearly a bag of holding. And as he gingerly and carefully gets out, because he is an older man at this point, he looks like a much older man, like the years have passed him by. 15 years, if you had to guess. He gets out and he stands up and he stretches. He goes, God, I feel like I've slept for days.
Perhaps years, Riku says. You look old as fuck, Grandpa.
Well, I don't know how to say this, but you all look exactly as I remember you. I am old as fuck. And he sort of looks around. I'm pretty sure it's been about 15 years since I last saw you all.
Yeah, how the hell does that work? Riku looks
I have
puzzled.
no idea. At this point, though, Elmander's like rummaging around and he just like grabs the vest out of the contraption and he's like walking away with it over
Riku
to.
grabs him. He's like, "Hold on, you. Where's our money?"
Oh, you want your money? That's right, of course. Hold on a minute. It's right over here, as a matter of fact. And he actually walks in the opposite direction. He's just like holding the vest. Let me see. Where is that thing? Where is the thing? Right here. Yep. And he grabs like a little like coin purse, like a very small looking coin purse, off of the table.
Okay.
Walks back over in front of you and he goes, hold on just a second. And he puts the vest down on the ground. He opens the coin purse and then he like turns it upside down and like as if he's like dumping something out of it onto the ground. There's a large thunk as a big crate, wooden crate, 3x3x3, crashes onto the ground. You can hear what sounds like a lot of heavy metal on the inside. Hold on here. How much did we say again? 100,000 gold pieces? I don't have Faerun currency, but
I think we said $1.50.
make a persuasion check at disadvantage.
Good job,
Oh,
Riku.
can Axel help by like intimidating?
I'm gonna say Riku jumped in with a persuasion there. If you want to try to do something on top of it, you can.
Could I have I was chewing while this was going on. Could I? Because my plan was to telepathically tell him to do that and then give him guidance while he persuaded.
I'll
Is
let
it
him
too
roll a
late to do that?
d4. I'll let him roll a d4.
All right.
So it's a 20. He sort of
Dirty
gives
20.
you like all a bit of a look, and he goes, "I'll give you $110."
125. Or we take
Take
it
it,
back.
take it or leave it. 110.
Let's not push it, Riku.
All right, fine. I'll
And
take 110.
he opens the crate and he kind of is like grumbling to himself. And he's like, oh, fucking adventurers. And as he opens the crate, you see inside it's literally filled to the brim with nothing but platinum bars. And he begins counting out 1, 2, 3. He counts out 220 platinum bars that equals up to 110,000 gold pieces.
I was gonna say
Perfect.
we should get paid in platinum anyway.
Question though, fellas.
Yeah.
I don't know if opening the hole is a good idea.
No, we all have to hold. All right.
Agreed.
How heavy would everybody holding their?
Oh, doesn't Riku have a bag of holding on his person?
I do.
Do you have enough room in there?
I'm pretty sure it only has half of its weight though that it's allowed to use.
Yeah, as he like begins to do all this, you can tell it's probably going to be too much weight. These things are heavy.
How many pounds? How many lbs we talking about?
These are like 10 pounds a piece.
And we have six of them.
No, you've got 220 of them.
Oh.
I can make a tensor's floating disc that can carry. You can hold up to 500 pounds.
that's like a quarter of your weight limit.
Hmm.
Where'd you get that bag?
Well, I mean, I am the founder and owner of Aurora's Realm, so kind of just get first dibs on whatever I want. And he like quickly like puts the bag over the crate and it like stretches abnormally so, and then like it gets like the crate gets like sucked back up into the bag, and he like puts it into his breast pocket. He puts it like it's got like a cord, so he puts it around his neck. Look, I don't know how you get these platinum bars out of here. I never
You got another
really
one of
cared.
those?
Yeah,
No.
can we buy in like another bag? Do you think the boys at Aurora's Realms would have an extra bag of holding we could buy tomorrow morning?
I don't see why not.
You know, worst case scenario, guys, I can just teleport it
Rico,
back to
can
the
you
ship.
teleport it back to?
Yeah.
Can you teleport it back
Or
to?
maybe just home.
Yeah.
I know
Well,
that's
are we still
a
in Faerun
shenanigan.
technically?
I will say that you are close enough to Faerun. Yeah, you're within Faerun's realm space. So yeah,
Can
you
you
are.
send it right to shenanigans?
when we
It's,
go
like, in our
home-
vault?
Yeah, I'll just take it back home, fellas, and we can all go together.
Yeah.
Teleport it back to the state into our.
Yeah, that's
Safe.
what we'll do
Let-
once we're ready
let
to leave.
Morty know.
How
I think we
does-
got more questions for this guy and for Ricky here.
I have a really dumb
Yeah.
question. How does banking work? Like, is there a bank at Neverwinter we can just like have them hold some of our money, like our bigger sums, and I'm just like
We
always
own the
keeping
city,
our.
of course.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I mean, we should open up an account
Well,
at
I'm assuming
Neverwinter
we
Bank.
have our own. Well, we should have our own vault at shenanigans. That's my assumption.
Yeah.
The casino.
So
That's probably safe from the bank.
the way that it really works is for really, really wealthy people like Elmander and like yourselves. Y'all don't trust banks because like banks are for plebs. You guys are effectively a small city state in terms of wealth unto yourself with this much. So generally speaking, these sorts of individuals maintain their own hoards of treasure.
Let's put it in shenanigans. We got a vault there. And Morty's our security that's been skimming off the top.
Like think about Waterdeep Dragon Heist, right? Like how much gold was it that was stolen for that? Was it 50,000 gold?
I mean,
Yeah, we
we'll
just need, like, 110,000.
we'll take
Yeah.
it home for now, but then I don't know. Maybe I'll talk to my dad. Maybe he'll have a safer place for it.
Well, I'm pretty sure like at shenanigans, don't we have like a special magical fortress thing?
You do.
Yeah, I
That
think we
you
went
took
like
from Strahd.
yeah, we went pretty hardcore on protecting our money.
If we have that there, then yeah, that sounds dope.
Okay. Are you guys staying here to spend the night with Elmander and in his place, or are you gonna hang out? Like, what are you guys doing next? What are you thinking?
I wanna bring up to Almander now that he has the helm. Be like,
Yeah, what do
hey,
you
you know,
plan to
like
do with
you'll
that?
yeah, you'll probably need like you know, like a prototype ship to test that shit out on. Whatever like the new design's gonna be. And we just recently ourselves came into a very fine spacecraft.
A nautiloid.
He looked at you sharply. You came into a nautiloid. How do you now own a nautiloid?
Well, it's not a nautiloid, it's a nautiloid themed space jammer.
Oh,
Well-
nautiloid class. Gotcha. Understood.
Yeah.
They attacked us, and well, they lost against us, and now the ship's ours. Spoils of war have it, something like that.
Christ. Y'all are. Oh, he's like sort of like looking at you with a newfound respect. Listen. I'm not gonna give this one up, but you're willing to buy one from Aurora's Realms. I'll even give you a 10% discount.
I mean, doesn't the
think-
nautiloid have one?
I think
Where's
we
it
wanted
gone?
to sell him the Nautiloid, didn't we?
No.
we
Nautiloid
wanna
does
keep
have
that.
one.
Oh, seemed like you were.
Oh, we should keep that and take it back home eventually.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
that
was trying to
reminds me.
offer if
How
he
how
had,
can we
like,
get
a
our ship
photo-
back home if we're teleporting back? Is there any way for us to pay someone to take it back home for us?
no, Sir Venom would volunteer to stay behind and fly the ship back.
Okay.
Do we trust him to fly the ship back?
Yeah, why not?
Vincent, that hurt.
I think you could just get lost or could get stolen from you if you're by yourself.
Or we could we could stay here tonight. Buy like I think it's not a bad idea for each of us to have a bag of holding at this point. You know,
I think we should
all the,
also phone home and make sure that home isn't like under attack before we just take a bunch of shit there.
yeah, we don't want to just teleport 100,000 worth of gold into like the middle of the like foyer of shenanigans where the teleportation circle is.
Yeah, let me get more to call.
Are you sending using sending?
I believe so. Let me just double check. I have it still. Okay, yep.
Okay. 25 words or less to Mort.
Yep. It's gonna be hey Mort, it's the boys. We're looking to come back home soon, making sure things safe. Hit me back.
It's like almost exactly 25 words. It takes a moment. You hear a groggy voice. Riku, it's like 3 in the morning. Everything's fine. Just come home. Jeez, he's like grumbling.
Riku shakes his head. Morty's drunk again. He's like, but everything's safe by the sounds of it.
You hear a snore come over the line as it then disconnects.
I don't know about staying here. I'd rather just go home, boys. You're
Yeah,
more
it's been a
you're
while.
coming with
I'm
us,
pretty
Yeah,
sure I
Grandpa.
left
yeah,
my
let's get
front
outta
door
here.
open.
Elbender goes, well, good seeing you. Look, I gotta go back to my work anyways. If you need something, just contact your local Aurora's Realms representative, and he'll help you best I can.
Actually, hey, do you have a teleportation circle in this place?
We don't need it,
Roll,
Vincent.
roll persuasion check at disadvantage, Vincent.
Persuasion, disadvantage.
He sort of gives you like a flat, blank look, and he goes, "Sorry, not going to give that out to someone who thought about robbing my alchemical stores maybe 5 minutes ago."
Riku looks on the table and grabs a pen.
uh,
Hey, put that down.
I
What
have
are you
a
doing?
question. I have a question.
Yeah,
What is it? Okay, so I think it was Neverwinter. Last time we were Neverwinter, the Aurora's Realms place that wasn't like that was closed, right? I think is that what happened?
Yeah.
Yes,
They,
you
they
are
like
correct.
moved here,
Yeah.
right?
So if you guys aren't in that spot anymore, can we just like take that off your hands? Like
He sort of looks at you. What do you mean, take it off my hands?
well, you got a
It
shop
seems
you
like
ain't
you guys
using.
are closing up shop.
Yeah. Can we just like take that spot?
I mean, no, I still own it, and
I'm
just
not
shuffling
saying.
around
Well, wait,
employees.
maybe we can manage it for you. Jeez, I'm not talking about just if it wasn't being managed. You got a place that's just taking up valuable real estate in our city, and we don't appreciate it. So we'd like to, you know.
He sort of eyeballs you. Do you know how much it takes to open a single Aurora's Realms? How much coin?
Probably about 500,000 open one in each city, I'd say. Riku smiles.
He sort of glances at you. Not far off, actually. I mean, if you wanna go into some sort of enfranchisement deal, I'm not opposed to it, but you're gonna need more coin than I just gave you.
Well,
If you can come to me with 250, we can call it a deal, and I'll front the other half.
Okay.
I think what Axel was saying was that we don't appreciate it a vacant lot in our
Yeah.
city when people need to have a
No, well,
store.
I
It's kind of embarrassing. I think
sort of-
you either need to employ it or
Yeah.
figure something out.
Make a persuasion check, Vincent.
I
I'm not very persuasive.
Yeah, it'd be
I
a
like it,
damn
yeah.
shame if something happened to that storefront of yours.
Just a regular one this time.
Just a regular one. He
Oh,
sees your point
God.
on some level.
Great.
And he also goes, my understanding is that you are my only clients in Neverwinter. I was making good money off of you, and yet at the same time, just supporting 3 high-level wizards or mages of that ilk and making them sit around in a shop all day. Do you know how expensive that is? These fuckers require a
Well-
lot of money.
Well, if that's the case, is there a way we could maybe get a pair of sending stones that our group has one, and one of your dedicated salespeople has another, and we could touch base and make purchases over that, and then we could just get some cool magical stuff sent to us, and you can continue making a bunch of money off of us.
He's sort of like looking at you. I'll consider it. For now, I'm not going back to Neverwinter. Look, I got bigger fish to fry. You know how many people want things here on the Rock of Brawl? It's like I'm making money hand over fist up here instead of down there. And I mean, Neverwinter, it's a nice city and all. There's just not. The Sword Coast is safe. There's no need for people to buy magical swords and shit anymore.
Yeah, thanks to us. Why do you think it's safe?
Actually, yeah. You're
the
looking
war
at the
going on down
owner
there.
of I think I own the Yawning Portal, like the Yawning Portal. You know what the
You do.
Yawning Portal is? You know the Yawning Portal?
Everyone knows what the Yawning Portal is.
Yeah,
It's not been open in years, though.
I own the entrance to it.
What do you mean
Alright.
you own the entrance?
I
bar.
own the bar that the bar, the Yawning Portal is where the Yawning Portal is, and that's yeah.
Okay. So what about it? Sort of looks at you.
So we encourage people to go inside and tell them they're going to need all kinds of fancy gear to go do it, and then that's when they need to go to stores such as yours to go into the Yawning
We could be
Portal.
very close business partners.
Yeah.
If you're willing and not being
Hey,
such
sort
a
of-
dick, Riku says.
He looks at you and he goes, "Yeah, but like I've already got a shop open in Waterdeep. That's where the Yawning Portal is, right?"
Yeah,
Checkmate.
but
Is it
Well,
open, Riku says?
look,
the one
why
in
don't- why
Waterdeep
don't-
is open.
we'll figure it
I'll
out.
circle back to this another time.
Yeah.
Let that idea of a like a connection between our group and Aurora's realms. Let that simmer for a bit, because
And also, if we
Riku-
come up, wait, out of curiosity, group in our, I'm not gonna say this out loud now. So in our head, do we have 200,000? Like, has our casino made
I don't
a big chunk
think
of money that we could just buy a
we don't have it, but I feel like we could
I'm not worried about it.
convince our partners in Neverwinter to invest in it, and maybe so we don't have to spend any money.
We could talk about this later, Vincent.
Yeah.
Not important now.
Yeah,
Let's get out of
I
here.
think
For this money.
Fine.
In our mind's eye,
Go home.
Riku, everybody gather up because we're about to teleport. And then
Let's go
Riku
home.
says, "Grandpa, get over here."
Or do you
He's like,
come
"Oh,
with us?
well,
okay.
travel safe, guys. I'm gonna take the ship back.
And then Riku
Can't-
holds up the
can't
pen
believe
to
that
the
here.
Elmander as we're leaving. It says, "See you soon," and then teleports out.
He casts counterspell as you do that,
Ooh.
and he then goes, "Give me the pen."
Hey,
Venom
He's
Oh.
not fucking around. He's not fucking around with this.
uproariously.
He does not want you to
Oh.
teleport back in here with an object. He demands the pen.
Oh my gosh, Venom falls to the ground laughing.
hey, not cool, man.
Elmander.
Do we have to roll for that?
Oh, actually, I do. I will roll for that. Give me a moment. That's fair.
Oh, unless he
You
upcast.
gotta roll con 18 or better. Or
Intelligence.
do I have to roll it? Or do I have to roll it?
I have to roll it.
Okay.
So it's gonna be. I guess it's technically this, because he gets a +9 to his magical stuff. So basically, what level did you use teleport at? Was it the teleportation circle or the spell?
Teleport spell,
Teleport.
7th level.
Okay, so he's got to get a 17 or better. Let me make sure you can see it. Let me switch to this. Okay, he got a 28. So
God damn it.
he succeeds on the counter spell.
So Venom
okay.
continues laughing.
Riku kind of uses a minor illusion and acts like he's throwing it, but keeps it in his hand. Tries to pass that off and then teleports out.
As you do the minor illusion, let me see if he sees through that. What is your minor illusion check? I think it's probably going to be your charisma plus your proficiency bonus.
And wouldn't you
It
be out of
is
spell slots to teleport
investigation,
now?
successful intelligence against my
Oh, okay.
spell save DC. My save DC is an 18.
Okay, let me make a perception check for him. He got a natural 1. So he's going to
Yes!
fail this.
It's gonna fall through his hand as we're like leaving.
Wait, but doesn't Doesn't counterspell? Wouldn't you still use the spell slot?
I don't think so. I think I get it
It-
back.
No, I think it does burn your spell slot. Actually, I think
Are you
that's right.
serious?
Yeah.
So you go to try to teleport again. Oh, and you just like stand there limp dick.
Wait. Do you not have another spell slot for this?
No.
Oh, I thought for sure you had a second spell slot for this.
On a failed save, the spell dissipates with no effect. And on action,
Let's
Oh,
all
it's-
just take the ship home. Let's all just take the ship home with the gold.
it says it's not expended.
Your spell slot?
I think so.
Oh, okay. Well then,
Let me reread this. This goddamn counterspell. Now it's getting complicated.
Which one are you looking at? Let's see.
Yeah.
Can you counterspell a
Caster.
counterspell?
No, it is wasted. You're right. It is wasted. Okay, so fuck.
Yeah.
Wait, so if that spell was cast with a spell slot, the slot isn't expended.
Yeah. If that spell was cast with a spell slot, the slot isn't expended.
Sure.
Where are you guys seeing
Look,
that?
I put it in
Whatever
the chat.
Riku,
What
whatever
counterspell
Riku put in the
says.
chat.
Which?
exclamation mark.
Okay, let me double check something, because I'm worried we're looking at the wrong one.
That I'm looking like using the new one or something.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. Here, let me send you the old one.
Reaches fill and has no effect.
Yeah, make sure you always see the legacy tag next to the spell name. D&D Beyond. I wish I could like turn off the new stuff. It just pisses me off. I can't turn off the new stuff, but sorry.
It says the spell fails and has no effect. Does fail mean that it's used?
Yes, that's the way I've always understood it. We can do a Google search. Hold on.
I mean, it's the difference here, boys, is if I keep this pen, I could come back here with another
Oh,
teleport.
I know. Right.
So
No,
that's
we
why
all
it's
understand.
important to me.
It would be very funny if you tried to cast teleport again and it failed after tricking him with the minor illusion. This is like Three Stooges hijinks we're getting up to.
So
Seriously.
the answer is yes. It uses a spell slot, and the rationale for that is that there are certain spells that actually indicate if it fails, it does not expend a spell slot.
All right. Well, if I knew I couldn't get out of here, then I wouldn't have even tried to trick him again. I would have just been like, "All right, fine, you win." And I guess we got to take our ship back to the ship.
Okay. You still have the floating trolley, basically.
Oh,
The
how
hovering,
much does that hold?
But you can stack all your platinum on it as you
Yeah.
wish.
Oh,
We
nice.
do that and then disguise
Let's
it.
cover it. Yeah, cover it with something.
Okay.
I
Um,
just
as-
add like a wooden crate or something, I imagine, for us to just throw it in.
Yeah. You're able to grab something from him if you need. As this all occurs as well, Rudolph Van Richten sits on top of it, and he goes, "Oh, this is going to be my ride by the looks of it."
Yes, sir.
Okay. You have a ship, a nautiloid, you said, and he sort of like looks at you all.
Mhm.
And as we're leaving, I'd say to Elmander, "Sorry about the tomfoolery. We'll be in touch," and gives him a wink.
Yeah. And he's like got his eye up to the telescope at this point. Do you guys want me to hand wave returning back to Shenanigans at this point, and you can just like fly in and dock your ship somewhere safe?
Sure.
Yeah.
Would you?
How long of a trip? How long is the trip take?
It takes about 2 hours. It's a relatively quick trip.
Damn.
Re-entry is much easier than you would expect, just due to the fact that you have a magical ship.
So if it's 3 a.m. when we called and it's 5 a.m. now when we arrive.
Yeah, it's like very early dawn by the time that you
Okay.
return. And rolling up to Neverwinter, you can see the city in all of its splendid glory. It is still the jewel of the north. And
How does this work?
People
like,
gonna freak
can we park
out.
this thing? Like,
well, that's what I was going to ask you guys.
We have
Like, where-
room at our spot.
Um, Make a perception check.
Ooh, can we use his tree? Well, Vincent's got a tree house. We use tree house as like a
Ooh.
docking station.
Can it
But
just hover
I'm just
above
worried
it?
about getting the platinum back home as quickly as possible. You know.
Well, I'm sure we would have had to have taken long rests on the ship.
Well,
To
if it
get
takes
back
2
here?
hours, that's
Yeah,
not
we
long
can't do
enough
that in
for a
2
long
hours,
trip.
brother.
Yeah, Vincent, you immediately look at your treehouse and you say, guys, just pull up next to my place. It's honestly kind of the perfect spot to dock the ship. It is tall
Nice.
enough, it's high enough, it's close enough. The only oddity is that everyone in the city is going to be able to look up and see a nautiloid hovering next to your tower, Vincent.
Oh,
Now,
could we have
No.
before we had left? Could we have gone to the shipwrights and like recustomized the ship?
I have. Wait, how long does prestidigitation work, or can it be indefinite? Can I make it like reskin it while it's parked at my
uh,
spot? With that,
one thing at
or
a
do I
time.
need something bigger than that?
Prestidigitation only works on something roughly the size of like an apple.
Oh,
Two,
okay. Never mind.
reskinning the ship, I'm going to say yes, you can trade in your ship if you would like, but you cannot reskin it. And if you want to trade in your ship, we can do like a whole like shopping thing for that. But basically, what I'm actually going to ask you to do is to research that on your own time, because I have no idea. Like, there's like a gazillion spelljammers out there.
Yeah, I'm sure we can find a non-nautiloid looking one.
But for now, let's just park it up there. It's fine.
Yeah, and then we'll
But
research
even if-
and we can we just say it's something else and keep it nebulous as to what it looks like until we nail it down.
Yeah, that's fine. We can do that. Either way, you park it outside of Shenanigans. The Shenanigans itself is quiet. It closes by 2 or 3 a.m. every night, just because that's the ordinances of Neverwinter in play. But as you bring your cargo in on the hovering sled, you are able to bring it and put it into your vault, which I have right here. It's just sort of off screen. You're able to put it into your vault safe and sound.
Perfect.
Totally
The other thing,
forgot we had
Sir Venom,
that.
about the ship is that it doesn't matter if it looks like a nautiloid or something else. People are it's gonna turn heads regardless.
Yeah, but like we don't want a nautiloid looking ship.
I don't care.
I think it's cool.
I mean, especially if we can just do like a straight swap.
All right. Well, you research one, and we'll find someone to trade it in. You find a ship. We'll swap it.
Okay.
Does the queen have any ships
Maybe.
in her fleet?
I'm gonna say
Sir Venom,
not
do you-
to Sir Venom's knowledge at this time.
We'll have to ask her about it when we tell her we got her own. Well, for now, you can park it at the treehouse, and I gotta check on. We gotta get some rest, and then I gotta go check on my egg.
All right. Let's take 5 minutes here. Let's take our break for the evening. Then we'll come back, and I feel like we have like either like a lot of housekeeping things probably to take care of, things between you guys, Shenanigans, Rudy, whatever you would like. You guys are back in Shenanigans for the first time in roughly 10 days, so 2.5 weeks. You've been away for a while doing your own thing. You have stored your money, you've parked your nautiloid, and you find yourselves in a quiet kitchen at home for the first time in a long time. Is there anything you guys would like to do?
Where's
Drinks.
Dad?
Uh,
Ugh.
oh yeah, we should get food and drink and then catch Rudy up in the scrying room, in the special room where people can't spy on us.
Ah. Okay.
Let's do
Raiding the
that.
kitchen, you actually find like 2 pony kegs, so you're able to bring 5 tankards and 2 pony kegs up to the scrying room with yourselves if you so wish. There is the leftovers of probably what was Morty's meal last night. just in the kitchen lying out, and it's a half a block of cheese. Looks and smells pretty good. Some crusty bread, some cured meat of some sort, along with an array of crudité. And so, if you would like, you're able to bring your things upstairs relatively quickly and settle into the scrying room, which I'm going to put you in now.
And if Shanzazim, my merman friend, is there, I'd give him the janky laser pistol as a present.
He is not in that room at this time. He's currently sleeping.
Oh,
But yeah,
But next time I see him.
so I'm just going to hide some of these things.
Next time.
These two guys, hide them. Okay, go ahead and place yourselves within the scrying room so you can have a conversation. And I'll bring Rudy over.
You're a little large, Rudy.
All right. Shut the door behind yourselves. You can hear the painting sliding back into place.
Exposition occurs.
And what are, just as like a brief overlay here, is there anything you're leaving out in regards to things that you might not want to tell Rudy? Like, what do you feel comfortable telling him versus not? It's
I
kind
would
of like where I'm landing.
say,
I feel like he's the one person who we could tell pretty much anything.
yeah, but what is it? That one lady's dead, and
Oh, Irina.
yeah, I don't know how he's gonna take it.
Dead for now. Like
mean, I
dead with
think-
an asterisk.
I think she was more our friend than his.
Damn.
She was like Rico's protege.
Do you tell him?
Yeah.
Okay. He takes this news somberly, and he sort of looks at you all and he goes, "Well, we got her out of Barovia. We did that by her very well. She got to see the world by the sound of it and travel up and down the Sword Coast. And she died doing what she believed in, defending the town of Yartar with the lot of you. I suspect that she couldn't have asked for a better life in some ways.
Hmm.
Helping those in need, making friends, seeing the world. But it is a sad thing to hear. I'm far more concerned about this second portion of this. I mean, I'm upset about Irina, of course, but you're telling me you could not bring her back?" And he looks sharply at Sir Venom.
Yes.
Yeah, I just like slowly nod my head, and I'm like, yeah, it was like, what was like I was trying to sift through a desert. I just saw like the disembodied souls everywhere, but by the time I finally got to Irina, I saw this figure, and then a force of some kind just pushed me back. I wasn't able to bring her with me.
It's disturbing indeed.
The forces of life and death themselves are at play here. Something of immense power is pulling the strings of life here.
And I would describe the person, like the skull lady that I saw, but no minor illusions.
You would describe what in particular? The Foot Road Inn?
No, I think it was, oh god. It was like a tall woman with some kind of type of crazy like skull helmet, wearing a robe. You sent, I think you sent a
me-
picture in the group chat.
Yeah, let me double check. This would have been a while ago, right?
And also, we're we're asking Rudy how he ended up on the spaceship.
Yeah, we'll get there, but one thing at a
Oh
time.
wait, no, you sent it to me. I have it.
Okay, let me go to our DMs.
You were right, Vincent. We were very very interested in that story. But it seems like he doesn't really know though. I'm wondering.
So
He better
that
know.
was unrelated to Irina, that image I sent you.
Oh, it was?
That image is in regards to an image of a person who flashed across your mind when you used a spell to try to understand why the Foot Road Din was sending the mind flayers after you.
Ah, okay. So that's
Because
probably
you
the force behind the Foot Rodin
Yeah.
in that weird like upside down like twisty city.
You've been
Exactly.
going crazy with the legend lore and the praying to your god for answers. So who knows what's what at this point?
Yeah, dude. Legend lore is just so sick.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Then
Keeping the
what
DM on
did
their
I see?
toes.
Yeah.
Then who did I see when I brought back Irina?
Uh, just
The
for
agent of death.
clarity, there, you saw a skull in a place, and I might actually have an image of this as well. Um, let
So
me
the
see.
skull, that's like, is it like the skull that Axel saw in the temple when he fought Artemis?
I feel like
Yes,
that's a fair assumption.
Yeah.
that is correct. And I actually do have an image of this that I'm going to bring up, and I'm going to send it to you, Sir Venom, because you have seen this, and you saw the like souls in this location as little motes of light all about.
Ooh. Okay,
So
so
someone's
I would describe the place and not the and no minor illusions.
Okay.
someone is sucking up the souls like the Raven Queen was doing, but they're like because if she takes them, are they gone for good as well? Like the same way this person is kind of doing? Who's thinking?
I assume you were looking
Um,
at Sir Venom as you asked this?
Yeah.
is this something I would know? Do I know the
Uh,
fate of the memories that she takes?
make
Green.
a religion check, Sir Venom.
17.
It is the most closely guarded secret of the adherents of the Raven Queen, and only the Raven Queen herself is said to know what happens to the souls who move beyond her realm.
And I just got kind of shake my head. I'm like, no one really like
Shit is
knows
getting
the
too deep,
no one knows
Rikus.
the final fate of the souls.
Yeah.
I always thought it's because the Raven Queen, didn't want us mortals to know what lies in the beyond.
My point being is before now we could retrieve a soul that's passed, but I didn't think about what if they passed into her realm, if they were retrievable or not. I didn't consider it until now. That's all. That was my only point.
Well, I would think they would have to be because some of the spells say that like you can revive someone after like 100 years.
Hmm.
And at this, Rudolf van Richten goes, "So, if you can reach a soul, you think you can still bring that person back?" And he looks directly at you, Sir Venom.
Yeah, and I close my eyes and like put my fingers on my nose, thinking hard. I'm like, if I remember like the exact wording of how the spell works, if I can reach the soul and the soul is free and willing, I can bring it back to life on our plane. But if there's some type of otherworldly or like
Yeah.
entity or deity that that's destroying or like consuming souls, I don't know if I would be able to reach them.
Yeah, right
If
now
they're,
we're unable.
You can see Rudy begin to reach towards the pouch, the bag of holding that he has, and he goes, I have a question for you. And he digs around in it for a moment, and he pulls out a book, and he says, I learned a lot when I was in Darkon. I learned more magic. I dug around in the ruins of Castle Avernus, which was the place of power in the once destroyed, or in the once wonderful realm of Darkon, but the now heavily dilapidated and destroyed realm. And I found a library. It was a library of souls. My understanding is that anyone who ever died in Darkon, well, their soul was sent to said library and held there in the form of a book. And he pulls out this book from the bag and he looks at you all and he goes, This is my son Erasmus in here. And you can actually see on the spine of the book, it says Erasmus van Richten.
What the? It's like a soul coin, Riku says.
He sort of nods. That was kind of my thought as well. Sir Venom, I also have his body in this bag of holding.
Huh.
Jesus.
Can you bring him back, Sir Venom?
I'm willing to give it a try, but
I don't know.
level
Riku says
the level
this
that
is
my divine magic is at now, I'm not able to remove any pre-existing magical diseases or curses or anything like that. So I don't know if his soul being in the book would count as a curse,
I
or if
fear.
it's like a magical way to preserve the soul.
Yeah, I think right now this is the best option, Grandpa. Unfortunately, like I want to see my uncle. You know, I want to meet him. But hey, I fear if you take his soul out of that book, whatever is sucking up the souls right now is just going to have one more added to its collection. So it might be better to keep it there until we get
Well, I
that
wouldn't
sorted out.
if I'm not able to reach the soul, I wouldn't try to. If I don't
Oh,
think I can
because it's
do it,
right here. I see
yeah,
what you're
'cause
saying.
the
It's like
soul's in the book.
bypassing, yeah, bypassing the guy sucking it. Okay,
Yeah,
I understand now.
yeah. We won't let
That might be worth a try. You know?
we're not gonna let the demon lord suck off your uncle, dude.
Okay.
But I'd look at Rudy and like, but I would need I need like a rest of a longish period of time so I can prepare myself and gather the needed divine energies for the spell.
I like this.
Try
We're
in
gonna
the
have a
morning.
seance.
Yeah, in the morning.
Just as a point of order, do you also have a diamond worth at least 1,000 gold pieces? Not
Uh,
diamonds, but a single diamond.
I think probably I have a shitload of diamonds.
Okay.
Do you have a lot of diamonds, but do you have a single one? Is the question.
Um, all I have is it just says 12,200 gold worth of diamonds.
I thought we broke it up in some way where like you had like
Yeah.
2 or 3 of those, and I just
We,
couldn't
we
remember.
yeah we may have, and I just didn't write it down.
Yeah, I'm
That's all
pretty
good.
sure you like divided it so that you'd have a few charges of like each spell essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many times have you used that? Just one, right?
I think he's probably used it once at most. So I'll say yes to the diamond question.
Have we told him about the foot road in?
I
I
mean,
want
I'm gonna
to-
say yeah. Like we would tell him about all our adventures. You know, that would
Yeah.
come up.
And
So yeah, you know anything
and
about foot road
ask
in?
him about the
Rudy?
whispering one.
Yeah.
Or the
Rudy, what do you know
whispering
about?
one.
Yeah. What's the deal with his buck, Rudy?
Sorry, which book? The book or the book that holds the soul?
The book. Like the
Books.
yeah.
I,
You know.
I mean, I don't really know. What do you mean? What's the deal with it? I've not seen it in 15 years of my life.
We need to kill it.
Sounds good. Then you should kill it.
I
All
think
right.
Silvery Moon is the lead here.
Okay. With the morning
Also,
lords. Yeah.
I'm also wondering where's that. This is like a question, to you Nick, because I don't remember. Where's that that artifact that the fucking paladin gang was using to detect evil? Where's that located?
That is a very good question. That is in Elturel.
Oh.
Can we get a map now that we're talking?
Yeah.
Elturel's the
different
one that's
parts of
fucked
the,
right now.
Here, let me pull
Ooh,
up.
where the mushrooms?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, that's bad.
At this, he kind of peeks. Rudolph and Rickson sort of looks up a little bit, and he goes, "Mushrooms? What is this?" And like, I assume you guys fill him in on that as well.
Oh yeah.
Okay. As I'm pulling up the map, he goes, "And Ayuz is there too?
He's the one responsible.
I owe that bastard a little bit of time and a lot of pain."
He is a piece of shit. Isn't he the one who stole the monkey?
Oh
He
yeah.
is. Ayuz
That
has
guy-
done quite a few
Yeah.
fucking things.
Yeah, that piece of shit.
Gotta kill him. Put him on the list. Put him on the list.
He's been on the list.
He's on the list.
That fucking guy.
And I don't mind recapping my list that I have. It might be different than your list, but it's so don't think that this is the complete list in any way.
There's a long list.
So I've got 4 main things on here. I've got travel to the Feywild, fight a Tarask, because you were asked by Alistair
Mm-hmm.
to take on a coven of hags for his friend. His friend was like this sort of like unknown. And the hags have unleashed a Tarask that's rampaging through the Feywild. You have, in conjunction with that, find the Witchlight Carnival, because that's where you heard Piccolo was.
Which is in the Feywild, right?
Yeah, they travel back and forth from the material plane to the Feywild.
That's like a twofer.
Travel to Elturel, investigate Zugmoy and Ayuz and what they've done to the city. That is a direct request from the Lord's Alliance in particular. You have travel to Silvery Moon, visit the Temple of the Morning Lord there, with the expressed intent on asking how to destroy the Book of Vile Darkness. And then you have investigate where the Foot Road Din was in that odd sort of warped town and why he was talking to a mind flayer there. I have that as like another thing that came up at one point.
The Foot Rodin. Huh.
It's a lot, boys.
Nice.
What do you
Yeah.
guys think?
I think we do go to Silvery Moon and then maybe a Feywild trip, depending on how if we were able to get rid of the book. And then
So I also feel like the thing here is I'm not sure if there's actually a wrong answer.
yeah,
It's
I
just
think
where do we
uh
feel like pointing? You know,
were we
Let's try to
given
get rid of the
direction.
book.
yeah, because I
you
think
know?
the Elturel thing we were given like a time frame, like it's gonna take like a couple years or something. Like it's or is that
I believe it was a couple of months.
oh
Or
okay.
sorry, it was a couple of years for it to like expand further into somewhere like Baldur's Gate. But the Lord's Alliance wanted you to investigate sooner rather than later, but it was at your discretion.
Yeah, we're very busy. I think they know that.
Yeah, I vote. All right, so I vote Silvery Moon because the book is the problem, like an
Yeah.
ongoing problem for us.
Yep.
We wanted.
We want more answers.
And that's Yar Axel. Yar Axel's the guy in charge there.
In Silvery Moon, the person in charge is
Or is that a different place? Luskin might be. Luskin. Yeah, because I see.
Yeah, Luskin is where Yarlaxle was in charge of. That's right.
What
But
What was the update on the mushroom people? Which one was that?
on the
Or
map,
where did that happen?
Eltegard, south.
this area.
Oh wait.
So that's the
okay.
current boundaries, basically, of like the infected mushroom zone, roughly.
Yeah.
In charge of Silvery Moon is High Mage Methramar Erasume. And I will give you that name.
Okay. And we've met them before, like at a,
You have.
Lord's Alliance meeting. One of the meetings.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay. Nice.
I'm part of the Lord's Alliance now,
Yeah.
aren't I?
So Riku, we're just gonna go there, and Riku's gonna be like, "Yo, where the temple at, dog?"
Just a reminder, actually, there is another thing here. Because Silvery Moon and Neverwinter have banded together and they have sent military
was thinking about
forces to Mirabar to help guard against, to Mirabar and to Silvery Moon, to guard against the Drow incursions. So you could also investigate that, Drow incursions,
Oh,
but
fucking cows.
What is the pink area? What's up with that?
that was where the goblins had been. So that's like resolved.
Oh, Yartar.
Yeah, I was gonna say we dealt with
I see
them.
Yartar, yeah.
Yeah, had been past tense.
Nice. It's a sweet interactive map.
Nice. Well, it just, yeah. I mean,
So
it kind of feels like we can maybe even once we're done investigating potentially at Silver Moon, then we can maybe even
Drop
No,
some
Turner.
bombs.
See what's going on over here real quick. Potentially. At least get an update, Since we're in the neighborhood.
At this, you can see Rudolph Enrichten's face. It looks a little crestfallen. He himself says, there's something I must do. And if Ayuz is in El Terrell, then that's where I need to go. I really can't say any more on it. I'm sorry, lads. But I think my road leads elsewhere at this time.
You're gonna leave us again?
This isn't something I want to do. This is something I have to do.
Oh, do you still have that
Will you at least
that
tell us-
sending stone that I gave you apparently 15 years ago?
He sort of laughs and he reaches into the bag of holding and he pulls it right out. It
Oh,
looks
my
more
man.
worn, like he's been holding on to it and trying to use it every day. But yeah, he still has it.
Hell yeah.
Did he tell us what about how we got in the spaceship?
He has not.
Yeah, what's going
Yeah,
on
we-
with the spaceship, Rudy?
I don't know really anything about the spaceship in particular. I can tell you a few things.
Yeah, tell us what happened
Well,
when you last saw us after that.
it's a little complicated, but when the Raven Queen banished us back to our own realms of existence, I wandered around my old stomping grounds of Darkon. I found my home. It was dilapidated and destroyed. I found my way to Castle Avernus, the central fortress of the long-gone lich named Aslan Rex. Honestly, most of Darkon was abandoned by the time I got there. It felt like maybe a year or two after I had left initially. It just felt like everyone had moved on somehow. And, well, it was a lonely, solitary existence. And eventually I moved from place to place that I appreciated, and I wasn't consumed by the mists or the fog, and I was allowed entry into places I had never been, like Castle Avernus. And it was there that, and he holds up the book once more, I found Erasmus's soul. And it was also there that I delved as deep as I could into the mysteries of the place. I mean, if I was going to be back there, I wasn't going to sit idle and weep and grieve, because that's what Darkon is to me. It's a place of grief. So I went to work. And in Castle Avernus, I found stores of magic that, well, they're something I'd never seen before. I learned this thing called chronomancy.
Ooh,
No?
chronomancy.
Basically time magic. And I learned how Aslan Rex escaped. I'm pretty sure he did something with time and ripped a hole in the fabric of the weave of magic itself and climbed out with a teleportation spell. You see, in Darkon, and he begins to describe what Darkon itself looks like. And the noteworthy features that he says Darkon contains, the one particular one is this unmoving golden star called the King's Tear that hangs in the sky. The sun and moon pass behind the star itself. And as he describes this, he says, I'm pretty sure that when Aslan Rex used chronomancy magic to leave, he created the King's Star. And that what it actually happens to be is a rip within the magic of the weave itself. So magic functions slightly differently within Darkon at this time. There is one thing that you should know. Some of the texts that Aslan Rex left spoke of a black obelisk within the depths of Castle Avernus, and they were what he used to cast these chronomancy spells. When I went and I investigated, I found nothing but the ruins of an obelisk in that location. It had been destroyed.
Wait, so the obelisk was destroyed, but Darkon was still inaccessible?
Darkon still exists somehow.
I thought once the obelisk was destroyed, the pocket dimension failed. That's what happened in Barovia.
But also the creature of
leader.
power needs to
We
die.
killed
The
the
creature of
leader.
power is gone.
Oh yeah, so we gotta track him down and murder him.
Could
I
perhaps be
don't-
the whispered one.
I have no idea. It could be. I wouldn't be surprised if Aslan Rex was wreaking havoc across the Sword Coast or something.
If this happened a long time ago, then who knows how old he really is?
Indeed, I
If he-
thought the
if
exact
he-
same.
And if he's mastered time, then there's no telling what could be afoot here.
But anyways, it was in the midst of that magic that I was able to find my own way out, and I was able to get out.
We're glad you did.
And how about the vest at home?
I have no idea how I came to be there. I just know that I found my way out, and then the next thing I know, you were waking me up.
Well, that fella who we gave that machine to was talking about a planet that sounded like he was trying to say Darkon, but he was saying some other, it was like Dark Star or something. I don't know. Sounded like they're just trying to find your spot.
Dark Sun is what he said.
Yeah.
It's gone. He was saying it's gone.
Yeah.
That's,
You heard of Dark Sun?
No, I've never heard of such a place. That is foreign to me. Kind of looking at you all.
So do you know how to? Did you know how to fast forward time? That's what you're telling us.
Ooh, we could use you in the casino.
And
He's-
I have
they're
a
still
Yeah, we got a few eggs.
I
that
have
we
this
hatch.
I have this egg that I could use hatching quicker. You can
Oh.
fast forward time.
I'm very wary of using. And he reaches into his bag, and he pulls out what appears to be a pretty magnificent looking pocket watch. It's a little bit bigger than a normal pocket watch, and it has many different dials. There's actually like a little lever on the side of it. You can toggle it back and forth. There's even like buttons, what appear to be buttons or like switches, little like to toggle switch back and forth as well as like dial. And as he holds it out, you can see that it has on the inside of it almost what appears to be, instead of a clock, as he opens it, what appears to be a two-dimensional miniature version of the planes themselves. And he goes,
Like, in the guy's house.
yeah, exactly.
Which we're just at.
Yep.
The pocket version.
Yep. And as he holds it up, he goes, I've not used it here yet, back on Faerun, so I have no idea what will happen. I only used it a few times in Darkon because I was rather scared to, frankly. One of those times was to save Erasmus's body, and he sort of lifts up the bag as he says it to indicate where the body is. I was very scared each time I used it. I was terrified of accidentally showing myself to myself or being in the wrong place at the wrong time. I think there was only one or two people who might have seen me using it, but like only fleetingly. I have no idea what will happen if I were to use it. The power of this, I mean, if it ripped a hole in the weave itself, in the space, time, and magic of Darkon, and allowed that evil to escape, I don't know what it would do here in Faerun.
And they want to use it for eggs. Can you believe that, Rudy?
He starts to laugh. I mean, we could try it on that.
Yeah. I think it's worth it. You looking to sell?
The watch?
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Sort of holds it close.
Wait, Riku says, do you think that guy can travel in time? The old guy we just left? Why didn't you say something before, Rictavio, if it's just the same as that thing? Points to the pocket watch.
No, I don't I don't think Elmander. You mean that guy who you woke me up in
Yeah.
his house of? No, 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 no. I mean, he just had a model of the planes. I don't think he could travel through time. I think this
Oh,
looks like a
okay.
vastly different instrument than what he had there.
Understood. Thought it was like just a pocket version of that. He had like a more primitive version or something.
No, I just think that was simply a display. I think this, well, when I used it and he shows you the watch sort of like holds it up for you all to see, and he's like, oh, I turned this thing and I'm not going to do it now, but when I turned it, the planes shifted backwards, like they realigned to the moment where they existed in at that point in
Where
time where I wanted to go.
you found that?
Crazy.
I did find it, and he looks a little wary at the question. It was in the spot where I believe Aslan Rex ascended.
And he left it behind.
My guess.
Well,
Question.
he must want someone to come find him then.
What if someone were to go back in time and stop Aslan Rex before he left Darkon?
I thought about that, and I don't have an answer. My guess is that, I might not exist at best, or maybe Darkon and everyone won't exist at worst. It's a complete unknown to me. He sort of shrugs, but I thought about it many times. I was very tempted.
This
So
might
we'd
be
be
a
able
way
to-
to
we'd
stop
be
the
able to-
Whispered One from
Yeah.
happening.
We'd
Riku
be able to
looks around
get
if-
rid
if-
of this big bad evil and Riku at the same time.
Well, we don't know how time travel. We don't know how those rules work in this world.
Yeah, I just
Yeah,
wanted
are we operating on like Back to the Future rules, or
Some Marvel bullshit.
Yeah,
You have
or like
no
Doctor Who
idea.
rules.
Wait, you're saying I can undo myself?
I mean,
How much of a
Rudolph
team
and
player
Richter.
are you?
I mean,
So
Riku shrugs and he's like, if I didn't know, life before, then it'd be like it never happened. It's like, it would have been nice knowing you though. Riku smiles.
Rudolph is sort of looking around at you all as you're saying this. Look, maybe I shouldn't have shown you this, but I was just trying to be honest. And he like shoves the pocket watch away. As he does so, and he's like rummaging around in the bag. Let me just roll something here. You see once again that slip of paper sort of like poking out from his jacket pocket, and he notices it, and he like pushes it back down in, and he puts the pocket watch away into the bag of holding.
What you got there, bud?
Just a scroll.
Kind of scroll.
So, roll an insight check.
Niner.
He's being a little shifty, but you can't tell much more. And he goes, it doesn't really matter. It's just a scroll.
Why won't you tell us if it doesn't matter?
I can't.
I don't know about that, Rudy. There's been a few things you're withholding from us tonight, and I don't like it. What are you hiding? Riku says.
I can't tell you, Riku. And he actually looks at you. Make another insight check. This time, it seems his mood is changing. That you can tell. He now goes from like nonchalance / like trying to brush it off to fear. Riku, I can't tell you. I'm sorry. Okay.
I don't like this, guys. My grandpa's scared. He's never scared.
Well, I mean, if you can't tell us, then who's he gonna tell? You should probably tell us.
You said
But
that out
I'm not
loud,
gonna.
actually, or-
I can't. I'm not gonna. Because it's Riku's deal. This is Riku's situation. I'm not gonna grab. I'm not gonna be hostile. I want to be hostile.
I think you need to tell us, Grandpa.
Roll persuasion check at advantage. He looks at you. And I'll just tell you now, Riku, that's a success. He looks at you and he almost looks at you kind of sadly, sort of head tilted to the side, and he's like, if I could, I would, Riku. But I can't. This is out of my control.
He's under someone's spell, Riku says.
Mm.
He may have made a deal, unfortunately. Starts shaking his head.
I mean, Octavio is not being able to tell us, like, is that for our benefit? Is there anything that's going to be dangerous to us if you don't tell us?
He sort of looks at you all and he goes, look, I can't discuss this anymore. And I would ask that we don't discuss it anymore. Is that okay?
Mm. Check him for
You know what,
fungus. Check him for
Sir Venom?
fungus.
Sir Venom trusts Octavio.
I mean, Riku kind of has to trust him, but he's also very sussy of Grampy right now.
He sort of looks at you all. Is it okay if I take one of the rooms and rest?
You're
Well, of
not going to
course.
bail on us, are you?
Well, no, not immediately, but as I said, I need to go to Elturel.
Yeah, but you won't say why.
I can't, Riku. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right,
Are you
Grandpa.
are you gonna come to Silvery Moon with us? Or-
He shakes his head. No, he's not planning on going to Silvery Moon with you.
How about you come to Silvery Moon with us, and then we'll give you a ride to. We'll drop you off somewhere close to where you're trying to go. We got a ship.
Make a persuasion check, Axel. And actually, I'm going to switch back to shenanigans.
Roll an 8.
He goes, I generally appreciate the offer, but frankly, I think I would rather stretch my legs a little, take a horse, see the Sword Coast again, if that's okay.
God damn it.
You should stop by my my treehouse on your way out. Check it out, Rudy. It's very cool.
I'll make sure to do that, Vincent. You mean the one that we came down to get in here, right? Because we exited the ship into it?
Yeah, that one.
Check it out again.
Yeah, check out I got someone there watching my egg.
He sort of looks at you and he was like, oh, I didn't know you could lay eggs.
Ah, yeah.
Oh,
It goes over Vincent's head.
congratulations.
It's a lot about him you don't know. You're never around. You just leave us. Who looks down at the ground sad.
Yeah, these poor guy's got abandonment issues. Totally not your fault though.
He like looks around. He's like, I'm sorry, Riku. I just you can see that he's like simultaneously exasperated, exhausted, upset.
We could just like look at the ground like kicking an invisible rock that's not there.
Don't worry,
I-
Riku. We're your real family.
I say we let Ricky do his thing. He's got his sending stone on him, so now that we're back on the same plane of existence, we can keep in touch. You know what, Riku, I think you should have this, and I give Riku the sending stone that's connected to Rictavio. This way
I
you
have
can call
sending, man. I
Grampy.
have the spell. I
Nice.
can just call him.
It was
This
symbolic.
thing.
It's
Yeah, it
symbolic.
was a symbolic gesture, but
Yeah.
you know what? Fuck you, Riku. I'll keep it.
Yeah, please do. In case I'm not around, you can talk to him.
Is there anything else that you want to talk to Rudolph Van Richten about? Any other stuff in particular? If not, he's gonna take his leave and go crash in one of the bedrooms.
Yeah, we'll see you before you leave. You better not leave without saying.
I'm not gonna Luskin goodbye you. I will let you know when I leave.
All right.
Wasn't Sir Venom gonna try to revive somebody?
Yeah, that's in the morning though for the seance. We
so
have
we
the
should-
seance
we
with
should-
breakfast.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he's not gonna run before we revive his buddy for him.
His son.
My
His
uncle.
son, yeah. His pal.
All right.
Your
do you guys want me
cousin,
to?
Riku?
What's that?
He's gonna go take.
Yeah,
His
flip
cousin
it.
then?
Oh, it would be my uncle, wouldn't it?
It would be
No,
your uncle.
Your uncle's son is a cousin. Oh,
So he's gonna go
grandpa.
into the dorms, and he's gonna rest. What are the rest of you guys gonna do?
Go out a place to build a terrarium for our raptor eggs.
I will also rest.
Okay.
Think
That's
about how I wish I had another 7th level spell
Oh,
slot so I
fire.
could have cast Mass Suggestion on my grandfather to make him come with us for longer than 24 hours at least,
Gotcha.
potentially.
Vincent, what are you doing? Axel, what are you
I'm
doing?
gonna
Are you
go-
resting?
Axel's in
Vincent's
bed.
gonna go to bed.
Okay. We will pass this time. You guys get a long rest as required. Where would you like to hold the seance? Back downstairs over breakfast?
On the roulette table.
On the roulette table.
I mean, yeah, we got like a whole. Do we have a stage? I feel like in that main area, like that, like the first floor of this room. Yeah, that. It's like a.
We got
You do have
space.
a
Oh yeah, there's a
stage, yeah.
stage. Yeah.
And in fact, there's no workers around right now because it's early morning still.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Lock the doors.
Lock
I
the
think it's
doors.
our first seance, boys. Riku says. Hopefully it goes successfully.
Do you want Mort there or not?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what could go
Alright.
Morty's
wrong?
welcome.
Bring Morty
No,
in.
this is his forte. He used to be a cleric, from my understanding. Riku says.
That is right. Let's see. Okay. Sir Venom. I assume you're going to do your thing. Is that right?
Sir Venom mute. Sir Venom coughing his brains out.
Bed up.
He's just murdering mice over there. He's lost it.
Oh no, just hit the mute button by mistake. So I'd go up on stage. I'd put one hand on or oh, didn't mean to hit that. Or first,
Whoa, he's fighting.
and then I
Look at the
punched the
laser
dead body
pistol.
right in the face.
It was a people's elbow.
All right. Give me a moment here.
First, before I started, I would cast my new cantrip, Elementalism, to make a thin cloud of harmless embers and colored scented smoke fill the air around me to get that vibe going.
This is a seance.
Yeah, exactly. It smells like God, what's a
I'm gonna also say for RP purposes, while this is all going on, I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but there's footage of Jimi Hendrix lighting his guitar on fire. Riku's kind of doing that while Sir Venom is doing all this.
What are you lighting on fire?
I'm not lighting anything on fire. I'm just doing the same thing he was doing during that.
Oh,
Some like
okay.
freaky, weird looking shit.
use your skills and your mind illusion to make this good, Riku. So now the mood set. I place one hand on the book and one hand on the body. Take a deep breath, focus, and I beseech the Raven Queen for her divine guidance to help me guide this soul from this book into this body, and then I cast Resurrection.
Okay. As you do so, please make a. I don't know. What type of check would you like to make here? Arcana or religion?
Let's go with religion. It's both the same role, but religion feels more appropriate since I'm beseeching a god.
Okay.
23.
All right, that is a success. You reach out into the void where you would normally pluck a spirit from, and yet you can see that there is one close at hand. And so you direct your attention away from the realm of the Raven Queen, and you can feel her guiding presence point you towards the book, and you latch onto it. Please give me an Arcana check now, because this is going to be a skill challenge, and this is going to be a little bit more difficult than you might have expected.
18.
The guy is trying to suck it up.
Do I get advantage for Riku setting the mood real well?
I would say an 18 is a success. The first one was going to be a 15. The second one's now an 18 for a success. You just barely hold on as you pluck the soul out of the book and you hold it in your spiritual hand and you attempt to coax it and guide it. Knowing Erasmus's name, you are able to call to him if you so wish to tell him.
Erasmus, come to the light. Follow my voice.
And it's working. But you need to make one more check, and you need to tell me which check you're using and why to re-enter the soul and reintegrate it into the body.
So I want to use perception because as I look at the soul and I look at the body, I see like geometric type patterns on both, and I have to find the best way to fit the
He's
the
perceiving where the soul meets the
yeah,
body.
where like the square peg into the square hole. I have to figure out the best way how to line them up to get the soul to enter the body.
Okay, go ahead, Death Cab for Cutie.
27.
That is a success. It was going to be a 20 was what you needed. As you do so, the body lying in front of you gasps and comes to life, and before
What the
you
Fuck.
is
It
the
worked?
form of
Riku's, like, surprised.
Erasmus von Richten.
Is that the
Riku,
angel stay, Grandpa?
he runs over to him and hugs him and holds him. Erasmus, my son, and oh, Erasmus, this is your nephew Riku. And as he says that, you realize that Erasmus is like a little bit younger than you, Riku. He's probably like 3 to 5 years younger than you.
He's got a punchable
Okay.
face.
And he's like shaking. He looks exhausted. He looks worn, but
Wait, is he a prettier like looking Riku?
a little bit.
No, can't have it.
And
and as
has he been dead for a year or longer?
he has,
Oh, yeah. So
Or sorry. He's been dead for like 40 years or something.
oh damn. Yeah,
But-
Venom like collapses to the floor.
It
Exhaust.
works. It still works. Yeah. So what are you exhausted or something?
Worse than that. Until I finish a long rest, I cannot cast any spells and have disadvantage on everything.
Oh wow.
So for once, Sir
Just take
Venom
the
looks
day
weak.
off.
Yeah,
How long?
We're doing a Bernie's day out with Sir Venom today.
until I do another long rest.
All right. Yeah.
He's
Well,
basically dead.
Yeah, you're good for a day. We'll carry you around.
I can
we
still
get to
walk. I
Bernie's.
just I can't cast any of my spells or hit things.
Yes. They're useless.
Oh, I can hit things with my new staff. Kapow!
That's a spell, though, isn't it? You just mean like actually like whack.
Whack. Part of it,
Okay.
it's got like a power strike.
Did you
Oh.
did you have to use a diamond for that?
Oh, I did.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, did we just do that for free? Cause
No, he
I
used.
mean,
he
he's
used a-
family.
every time.
Riku says.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
he's got a big bag. He's got a bag. Keeps pulling shit out of a bag, Riku. And
Come on, we're practically made
Yeah.
of money. What do you care about one diamond?
I mean, I still have over 10,000 gold worth
All
of
right,
diamonds
I'm just
alone.
saying.
I mean-
you know.
Tell him what his life is worth. See what he cares. You're worth more than that to me, Uncle. Riku says.
I don't know this guy.
Erasmus looks around and he goes, "Dad, who are all these people?"
Yeah, we're
And-
like bickering about his life's worth.
Rudolph Van Richten sort of looks at you all and begins to say, "Well, they're the roosters, son. They're our friends. But God, this is all so complicated." And he begins to launch into the tale of how he saved him and who you all are. And as you're sort of sitting around in the gambling room discussing all this, is there anything else that you would like Erasmus to know, or anything that you want to ask Erasmus?
Do you need anything? How do you feel? Welcome back to living, by the way. I know what it's like on the other side. Not fun. Can't imagine for how long you've been gone.
He sort of looks at you, gives like a weak smile and chuckle. I feel like absolute garbage. The last thing I remember was being stabbed multiple times over and over by this awful vampire woman, and I don't. Then I saw the torches coming towards me, and I blacked out. And do you see Rudolph Van Richten sort of put a hand on his shoulder? It's okay. It's okay. I'm going to teach you how to make sure that you survive these sorts of things from now on. Look, they're really good at it. And he points at all of you, and he's like, maybe Erasmus could learn a few things from you some point. It doesn't have to be now. It doesn't have to be today. And
Of course.
Also,
We're in
If
the
he
big
wants
leagues
to
now. We
rest
don't
up-
want him
Yeah,
getting
look.
caught up like he did before.
Look, Rudy, you want
He
us to
wants to
power
rest
level
up
your
for a
kid?
day.
We'll do it.
And
We'll
Sir
take
Ben will
him
pipe
to,
up and be like, I don't know, our
Silver
dance
Moon.
crew's full, but we could always use some extra help to get us to regionals. And goes and just like plops down in a chair.
He could
Come on,
accompany
Tim.
us on our silver
He's
moon
just
mission.
tired from helping you back up.
He better be able to do a backflip.
Rudolph Van Richten looks at you, Vincent, as you say he could go to Silvery Moon with you, and he goes, actually, I was thinking maybe he would come with me to. I don't know. I don't want to let him out of my sight anytime soon.
No, you got to come with us now. Now you owe us, right? Riku smiles. At least one diamond's worth of time.
Look, guys, I can't.
We got to destroy this book.
And I have to go take care of this other thing.
Which is
Can't talk about it. And Erasmus is like looking at him now. He's like, Dad, what can't you talk about? What is going on? And he's like, I can't even talk about it with you, son. I'm sorry.
yeah, he's being real shifty, Erasmus. He's got this this thing he's trying to do, but he won't let us help him.
Is this like the last time you did this, Dad? You said that we would all get out of Darkon, and then look what happened. I died. Just tell me. And you can see
Only
Erasmus
for a
is like
little
actually
bit.
getting mad. Hush you, and he looks over at you as you say, only for a little bit. And Rudolph Van Richten sort of looks like stricken. He's like, we were going to get out of there. I don't know why it didn't work last time. And I mean, Larissa got out, and it did work for her. So, and Erasmus is like, how did you get out this time, Dad? And Rudolph Van Richten goes, I can't tell you. I can't tell them. I can't tell you. Just leave it be. Erasmus is sort of looking at his father. He's got a sort of shifty look on him as well.
So Erasmus is coming with us, or is he going with Rudolph?
Erasmus then looks back to his dad and he goes, I don't know. I'm not sure I want to go anywhere. Where is it you're going? And his
The
dad explains.
regionals.
His dad explains Elturel to him.
Honestly, I was going to suggest he stays here if he wants. It's actually, this is like one of the safest places you could be.
Hmm.
And
Come
maybe
on,
Mort
bro.
could take you under his wing, for show you the
Yeah.
ropes at least until we get back.
Rudolph looks at you, Riku, as you're saying this.
He could help raise my griffin.
Something.
Stay at the treehouse.
I don't know what to say in front of this this kid, but especially we're not in our special room anymore. Yeah. I don't know. We don't know who's listening, but his person could be very valuable because they're both from the place.
Rudolph Van Richten goes, "Can he stay here? You don't mind?"
Yeah, he can stay here.
Erasmus sort of is like, "Hold up! I didn't say I wanted to stay." And Rudolph cuts him off and he goes, "No, you're staying here. You're not coming with me, and you're definitely not going with these fools, regardless of their strength. It's too dangerous for you at the moment, Erasmus. We need you to rest and recuperate. Then, when the time is right, well, maybe we can bring you up to snuff." Erasmus sort of gives him a look and he's like, "Dad, I'm an adult. I can do as I please."
Well, what do
You
you
can
want to
see-
do then, Mr. Erasmus?
He sort of looks.
He doesn't even know what year it is.
He looks around at you all and he's like, "I have no idea what I want to do. I'm going to take a day and then I'm going to decide." Morty's like, "Do you want a beer, lad?" He like wobbles up with an ale.
Yeah, Rico's like day, week, month, whatever. We don't care. Our place is your
Well-
place.
Well, I'm not going anywhere till we can get Sir Venom back on his feet anyway. So
Yeah, we're
Be
here for
around.
at least a day.
What are you talking about? I'm fine. Sven goes to stand up and immediately just falls on his face.
Well,
I mean,
we
that was
might,
a
we might
purpose.
as well show you around the town, or at least show you around Shenanigans. This is our place, by the way. It's gonna be busy with people in no time. Surely, right, Mort?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I gotta go get everything open. As a matter of fact, he sort of like wobbles off, half drunk.
That's Morty. He's a good guy.
That's
Well, guess this is my new home base for the moment. Rudolph Van Richten sort of eyes you all. "I'm gonna go make preparations for my leave." And he calmly walks out, but you can tell that there's an anger, the anger of a father having bickered with his son in front of everyone.
Well, I'm sure this is a pain he's missed. So let it sink
Yeah,
in.
but how come Rudolph's nose wasn't red anymore? I thought his nose was supposed to be red.
huh?
What's that mean?
Erasmus looks at you. "Are you okay?"
I'm fine. Just taking a soul out of a book of all goddamn things and putting it into a body that's been dead for 50 years. It's nothing for me.
Fair enough. Thank you, by the way.
I
So
give him a
let's
little
give you a
bow.
tour, Erasmus.
Okay. I'll lead the way. And he follows you wherever you'd like to bring him to across the house.
Give him a tour. Be like, and this is where you're gonna stay. Doesn't where are you sleeping somewhere weird, Axel?
I sleep in a bed.
I thought you were like next to the kitchens or something.
Yeah, he's got
Yeah,
a
I'm on
sack
the
of
second
potatoes in
floor.
the
I'm on the
kitchen.
second floor near a dining area. All right.
Or there's like a barracks or something.
Yeah.
I was gonna give him like a shit room.
Yeah, you,
Like
you
give him
can
the
sleep
tour,
on one
like
of the.
help next to the place and be like, yeah, you can sleep here. Give
You
some
have
like
some
shit room.
guest beds.
Yeah.
There's
We
like
got
a
plenty of guest
dormitory upstairs.
There's like extra Rico has like extra beds like in his huge room.
Yeah, don't
There's
you have like a giant like a king size bed and then a guest room in your room?
Yeah, but he can sleep here with Axel.
Huh?
You're
You'll
gonna
look
force-
after him, right, Axel?
I mean, I'll teach him to fight. That's like he needs to learn how to. He's gonna have to learn how to fight, but you can sleep with the like. Oh, there's a bunch of beds in one of the rooms.
That's what I meant. Like
Yeah.
I thought that's where you kind of hung out.
I sleep across the hall from that, pretty much.
But
Like,
but it's
close to it.
closest to you. That was
It's
my
close.
point. You know?
Yes. All right.
That's all.
So you show Erasmus around, no issues with that. I think from my vantage point as the DM, I need to know what you guys plan on doing next.
I think
Um,
it'd be interesting to like meet up since we only have like 20 minutes. We can't really get in anything, but like we could just like meet with Clanghammer because I feel like it's been probably
sure.
we left. Talk to Clanghammer.
He'd probably know we were in town before we were even arriving.
Yeah, show
Knowing
up in
him.
that ship. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Claymore,
the next
what
big
else?
story thing I think we wanted to do was go to take care of the book.
Yeah, I think
Which is what?
Silvery Moon will do
Silvery
that
Moon?
next week, probably, or next time we
Should
play.
this is this a convo for the room, or can we walk in the Forbidden Gardens? What do you think?
The what gardens? I don't.
Yeah, I thought
Like
that I
the
thought this
Game of
was
Thrones gardens.
like an out of character
Oh,
type talk.
Oh no, I mean, in character works fine too. You can talk to Clanghammer in character about stuff. We can have
Yeah.
an out of character talk. Doesn't matter to me. Whatever.
Oh yeah,
Whatever you guys
I
need.
was, gonna
Yeah,
see
I
what's
got
up.
the impression you were asking like the future, the plan. Is that what you were
Yeah,
asking?
a little bit. Yeah.
And I think our answer is we were gonna go to Silver.
Silvery Moon, yeah, we're
Okay.
gonna do book, then maybe Piccolo or
Then
go to the
Piccolo.
Feywild. Yeah.
And then
You gotta rescue Piccolo, man.
Try to find the monkey.
I mean, it seems like the group really needs to find out what happened to this damn monkey.
All right.
I
I
forgot
feel
about
like
the
really bad that
Tarrasque or
we
whatever.
left him
Forgot
for
about
so
that.
long.
But I just think it's
Well-
funny how attached we all are to him, more so than it seems than Axel, which is
It's a loose
I
end.
love
No,
that.
I mean,
Yeah, it's Axel's monkey, and he's like, yeah, whatever, fuck that monkey.
it's well, it's also it felt like a person just going to get my monkey. It's like it felt like a personal mission when we got a lot main story wise going on. Just be like, hey guys, can we get my monkey? We can
Dude,
like.
if I had a pet monkey, I would absolutely halt the. I'd let the world burn to go get my monkey back.
All right,
Good get to that.
we'll get him.
Burning mushrooms.
Yeah, like I'm about to have a baby raptor, and like I'll let fucking the Dark One take over the world to go save my baby raptor from a circus, a magical interdimensional circus of fairies.
Yeah.
All right.
I need to go find someone to make me a saddle, a war saddle.
I would
Flash
say
on.
you should hold on until you have your griffin, because you don't know the size.
True.
The saddle will
Should
need to
have
be.
committed.
And
Well, then you can grow.
can we just say that like I went around town gathering the necessary supplies to make a raptor terrarium?
Yeah, that's fine. I'd say that'll cost, I don't know, 500 gold or something.
Okay.
1 platinum bar, if you will. Um,
500 gold. I've got that in my personal stash.
yeah,
then,
if there are things you would like to do, you can do them around town. No problems with any of that sort of thing. You can buy a saddle, Vincent, if you want. I was mostly giving you shit.
Well, I'm gonna get two. I gotta get first his adolescent one and then his adult one. So I'm gonna have
Gotcha.
2 made anyway.
Gotcha.
Just get one with a bunch of straps, adjustable straps.
No. He's getting Displacer Beast and some other cool leather I gotta go hunting for. War saddle with Raven.
Well,
feathers.
the displacer beast stuff, you should turn that into you should
Cloak?
use you should
No,
make a
it's
cloak for
going on
yourself
the
out of
Griffin. Nope, it's going on the Griffin.
that.
Battle armor saddle. And maybe he can like go invisible. I don't know what Displacer Beasts do. Oh yeah, they like teleport. I don't know what cool things it could do.
Yeah, maybe you could find someone to make like a saddle of displacement. Make your griffin a little more sturdy.
I think like a displacer
Griffin?
beast cloak would like make it so the person rolling to attack you rolls at like disadvantage or something.
Yeah.
That's
That would be
exactly right.
Displacer Beast armor on my Griffin while he's flying around.
Yeah, you'd have like a glitch. You'd be glitchy.
Oh. And Raven
Oh,
feathers.
you need raven feathers?
Oh, plenty of big raven, probably turkey feathers.
Yeah, I'll start saving up feathers for Vincent so he can have as many as he needs.
Do you shed? Are you shedding feathers?
I assume like there's a molting process that goes with having like bird-like wings.
You know, I can turn into a bird too now.
True, you can use your own feathers. You
Pluck-
could
pluck
you can
yourself clean?
transform. Yeah, you can transform. We'll pluck you naked, and then you can turn back.
Gross.
That sounds what is it? It's like a cheat.
Yeah,
We're hacking. We're hacking the
is there a
game.
well
The
is
mental
there a
illness.
is there a high profile leather worker armorer in town?
You can find skilled armorers and leather workers. Yes.
I want one with high reviews and reputation, like a
Uh,
At
designer.
least 4
Gonna
to 5
find like
stars.
that makes like
Yeah.
just customs. Yeah, money is not an issue.
roll an investigation check for that,
Like the
Vincent.
Louis Vuitton, like a Louis Vuitton.
Designer saddle.
Yeah, and I'm gonna supply some of the goods. 16.
That's good enough to find basically anyone you would want who can work with typical materials, but I don't think that's good enough to find someone who can work with exotic materials like those you have. There is a little bit of information, though, that you hear from one or two people about an armorer in Baldur's Gate who supposedly is able to use more exotic materials and turn them into what customers want. He goes by the name of Damon.
Damon and Baldur's Gate.
Yeah. He's an older tiefling at this point, but he's known to be a talented smith nonetheless.
All right.
And quick aside, can I spend the necessary gold to buy 2 more charges of incense for legend lore?
Yeah, totally. Is there something you would like to use them on now?
No, I was down to 1, so I just wanted to buy a couple more.
Okay.
I think I still have 9 teleportation circle charges.
So, Clanghammer's here.
Yes, he is. And do you guys want to be upstairs in the scrying room to speak with him, or are you fine to be
Might
wherever?
as well for safety purposes. 'Cause I don't
Okay.
know exactly what I'm gonna say to him, but just in case anything is said.
Do you want Riddle Van Richten in this conversation as well, or
Nah,
Erasmus? Are you guys good with just?
no, just the gang here.
You're welcome
Okay.
to rest in another room.
Yeah. So, how things in Neverwinter?
Well,
News.
the situation on the Sword Coast is relatively good, all things considered. No more goblin incursions within the Dasaran Valley. You've taken care of that, and that folks have begun to rebuild in Yartar. He sort of looks to you, Rico, and nods. My understanding is that they're making do with what they have. It's more of a village at this point. The town of Tribor has been entirely abandoned. And this was the first town that you guys saw when you got out of Rishemalot, and it had been completely destroyed by the Goblin Army. But the drow situation in the north has gone silent.
In a good way?
I don't know, but my guess is no. Silvery Moon, well, nobody's heard from them in, I want to say, 3 days now. We've been sending regular reports daily between each other, but Methramar Arasume has not replied.
Oh,
I
that's
myself,
Actually about to head there.
indeed. Well, then be wary, because if there is some sort of open warfare in the streets of Silvery Moon between the folk of the city and the drow, things will be bad. We sent scouts to the north to see what's happening, but nobody has reported back yet. It could be a set of mistakes of some sort, but this does not feel positive.
Could be walking into a trap, roosters.
Yeah. We got a ship now. Did you see that?
Talk of the city.
Quiet there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's us. Tell them not to worry.
Yeah, no invasion, just the roosters.
Oh, and you know that Aurora's Realms in town?
Yes, it's closed, right?
Yeah. We talked to the guy who owns Aurora's Realms, like all of them, and he was like, "Oh, I was like, oh, we're gonna take it," and he was like, "What? No, that's still mine." And he wanted like 250,000 from us to, because I guess it's like 500 grand to like open up an Aurora's Realms. So he wanted us to pay like 250, and that's a lot. And so I might just have to make a law that just like kicks him out, and we just take it over or something.
Yeah, it's like an eminent domain type situation.
He sort of looks at you all. Are you being serious with him?
Oh, totally. Serious.
Yeah,
as
roll,
that.
roll a persuasion check or an intimidation if you would like. It's up to you.
We'll do. I don't.
Well-
I'll just roll a persuasion, but if I roll poorly, I'm just gonna session inspiration that since it's like the end. But
Okay.
come on. All right. Session inspiration.
I feel like your persuasion should be with your strength modifier because you do it
There
by
we go.
flexing your
Crit.
muscles.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That'll do.
He starts to laugh and then he goes, "Oh, you're serious?
Hell yeah.
Well, you're deadly serious." Well,
That guy's kind of a prick.
and he lives on the Rock of Brawl, you say?
Yeah. Oh, he's a. He made us pick up a person and deliver it to him. I think he's a human trafficker.
Oh, I don't like the
Not
sound
wrong.
of that.
Yeah.
I'll look into it. I'll see what I can do.
Awesome.
Those Aurora's Realms, it's a front. They're into some shady shit.
Yeah, because I was looking, I've been checking my pockets, and I was like, man, we got a lot of random crap. We could just open up like a pawn shop, and you know,
That's what they do.
yeah, and basically, oh, and then we get people to go on adventures, and then we tell them we'll just buy all the crap that they get from their adventure for like,
And then
you
sell
know,
it back
cheap,
to them.
and then sell it, and then because we got the yawning portal, and also I'm pretty sure when we were in the sewer that one time, remember we found the fish guy in the sewer. Wasn't there
Yeah.
also?
I remember.
Venom's friend?
Yeah.
And then
he
there was
worked-
a
he worked in
lady
my
too.
lab.
Yeah, that guy. And then but then there was a lady too in there that like apparently she can just like find, she knows where magic items are, and then she could just like
Oh
we,
yeah,
like,
she
gave
was
her
in
a
a
spot.
when we cleared out like some tombs or something. We
Yeah,
came
yeah, the
across her.
tombs wasn't sewer. Yeah, tombs. Yeah, it's the same dungeon we found this guy, and there was that lady. So I was like, oh, we could just like have her tell us where stuff is, and then we can have like a sales team like Riku kind of people who are just like, oh, I know where a great place is, and here's all this, potions and shit you'll need. And look,
I think you like you.
We
you
could
were
be like
able to,
Aurora's, but better.
yeah,
Yeah.
At this, Barrack Clanghammer goes, "I'll look into the property rights claim of this, but I'll leave the rest to you." And he begins to like sidle out of the room. He goes, "Do take care in Silvery Moon. Come back and tell us what's happened. I know that the Black Staff is pretty desperate to hear what has occurred in the north.
She can come with us.
Considering all the troops that they've sent and we've sent to the north, she's the only line of defense left. That's my understanding in Waterdeep. So, no." And he exits and he closes the door behind himself. Is there anything you guys would like to cap off the night with besides just reaffirming you guys are going to Silvery Moon next time? Because I'm going to have to prep that.
let's get a performance from Riku.
I can't believe my grandpa wouldn't come with me, Riku says.
Yeah,
If
right.
We just
You're
got him
not-
back, and now he wants to leave again. Can you guys believe this shit?
It must be because you're not a good enough grandson.
Let me sing a song.
It's
That-
just, it's not as good as all of your other stuff, Riku.
Pretty mid, Riku.
All right. That's the inspiration right there.
That's
Yeah.
much better. Um,
And I'll use elementalism and minor illusion to get some cool effects going on, and back you up with my rat flute.
it's all sort of bouncing off of the water of the scrying pool in front of you. And as this disco takes its leave, all of your minds think back to the shiftiness with which he moved and the refusals to talk about any of this. Is there anything else you guys would like to do before we wrap it up here?
I think we should have fungus checked him. He could be taken over by mushroom people.
We still got 8 minutes if there's something you guys want to do, so I don't want to take that away from you. But if you're good for the night, I'm happy to.
Hey, should
wrap
we
it
go
up.
strip him down and do a mushroom check?
Sure. See if
Just
he's only got one.
oily, like, hey, Octavia, before you leave, let's take a few minutes in the sauna. So sweat it out a little bit.
Oh yeah. Because in the faculty, you've seen the faculty, the body snatchers in that one hate water. Or no, do they like water? No, they like water. They hate it or like it. No sugar. Yeah. Let's get him in the sauna.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause
All right,
this-
yeah,
this
group
place is-
sauna.
This is old fashioned, so everyone has
Party.
to be naked.
Midnight sauna party.
All right. You guys are in the saunas over here.
Rasmus too.
Rasmus too. All right, give me a moment. I'll bring.
Yeah, he's
Rasmus
probably got a
over.
hose to get hosed down. Both of them should get hosed down. I mean, we don't know how long he was in that.
Listen, this is customary
chamber for.
in Neverwinter to have a sauna with your boys after one of them comes back to life. So we mustn't ignore customs. Where is
Yeah.
Grandpa? There he
He's
is.
right here.
Nothing's better than hanging brain.
Oh,
All right,
Yeah.
sauna time it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we're kind
No
of
other
checking
mist.
him. Yeah, we're kind of checking him. We want to see like, is he like in horror movies when like people are possessed and they're like their veins turn like black or like they they get real. Do we notice any kind
Yeah.
of unusual signs of, or is he just got weird old people
Uh,
spots?
Give an investigation. Give an investigation check as he undresses
Oh.
and wraps himself in a towel for the sauna, and moves into the room.
Riku waves. No towels here, Grandpa.
He sort of snorts at you. If I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it my way.
We're all men, aren't
Uh,
we? And turtle
he
and tiefling.
So when he hangs his clothes up, Axel, he's very careful to make sure that whatever that piece of paper is in his clothing does not fall out of his jacket pocket.
Can Riku mage hand try to grab the paper and get it to him?
Sure.
Is your mage hand invisible?
No, but it's misty in here. You can't
It
see
is.
it.
Make a stealth check or make a sleight of hand check, I should say,
Yeah,
if
can
you want
I
to try to hide it.
can Riku give me some type of like nod that he's doing this, and I'll like stretch and spread my wings like really and try to obscure the sight lines.
Sure. Let me make a check.
So maybe try to like either give him advantage or lower the DC or something.
So he sees your mage hand as he like goes and sits down, or like sort of like goes over here to lean against the wall. He sees your mage hand pulling the slip of parchment out of his jacket, and he goes, "Hey, don't do that." Are you? He's gonna like leap for it and try to jump for it.
Riku's gonna use command and make him
damn.
fall prone.
What
mean,
is that?
dude,
A wisdom saving throw?
The
Let's
dude's like
see.
90 years old. Like we can just
Wisdom 18, yeah.
we just
Okay.
put a hand on his chest.
Well, I want to
I-
get this scroll and see what the fuck it is.
He passed, and he will leap at you, trying to reach for the scroll. I would assume the scroll's in your hand at this point. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Could we use
And he's
a,
like yelling at you.
Could any of us use a reaction to try to like grab him and keep him separate?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I'll hold him back. Axel will hold him back.
Oh yeah, 'cause I'm
Rasmus,
up
hold
first.
him back. Help. And Riku
And
wants to read what's in the scroll.
Um,
And I'll cast dispel if I have to do comprehend languages.
okay. It's in common as
Okay,
well
so-
as infernal. It's written in 2 languages.
Ooh, I
So
read
one-
Infernal.
So it's common on one side, infernal on the other.
Well, comprehend languages, so I can read both sides. Then
I'm going to share with you, and only you, Riku. Let me just make sure that you'll be able to view this, but yeah. And you can choose how much or how little of this to share with the group.
I knew it.
What's it what's it say, Riku? What do you got over there? What'd you find out?
Exactly as I feared.
Do you care to share it with the rest of the class?
Take a guess.
Quite a bit to read.
Yeah.
Do you tell us
I
to
mean,
guess?
I'll just say it's a pact. You know, just like I thought.
You made a
Ooh.
pact with the devil. Which devil?
Not a good one.
Ooh. Bum bum bum. Will the group kill Rudolph Van Richten?
So Sir Venom would just straight up ask Riku, like, can we read it too?
Fine.
You want me to send it to the group?
Sure.
The
Yeah.
link? Okay. And as you all pass your eyes over it, it suddenly becomes clear as to why Rudolf van Richten seems so desperate to go to Elturel. And this is where we'll leave it for tonight.
Oh,
Nice.
Rudy.
Yeah.
Hell of a pact.
It's a long one.
Yeah, I gotta print this out.